consuming the classes and not taking action. I want to know, is any progress has been made, even if it's a little? Every little bit counts. Everything counts. I don't have anyone in the waiting room. Oh wait, yes I do. No, I don't. Let's see. Tiffany at LBC. Whoop whoop. That's what's up. I was in the LBC. Um, how long? I want to say I used to live out there. I went to college for about 4 years. I lived out there. I love LBC. Louisiana. All right, so let's get to some questions. San Diego's in the house. I got you, Kendra. I just accepted you. Let me make this screen bigger because I can't see. I can't see that good. The chat is small. Michelle says moving slow, but moving. Yes, you are. Didn't you just get a contract? I could have sworn I seen you in the community and you just got a contract. Antoinette says, got my business structured. That is very, very, very important. That's one of the things that we're going to go over in this class today. And that is getting your business contract ready, getting your business structured. That is like the first step. Yes, you can start making money with your car immediately, but long term, we want to get our business contract ready at the very least. Got in my LLC and just registered for sales. Congrats. Working on my website. All right, that is some progress. Great progress. Good evening, Hubert. D says I'm contemplating. Excuse me, implementing. I'm sorry. I read that all wrong. You're implementing. That's right. You're welcome, KO. I've been doing medical courier work for over 3 years, thinking about doing medical supply contracts. Well, this class will help, hopefully, bring you over, you know? Let's not just think and let's actually commit because that is where the money is. Although this whole government contract, excuse me, shutdown is going on, that is not going to stop us. That is not going to stop us. Remember, I started this business or just in the car during the pandemic, during the 2020-2021 pandemic. And the biggest reason why I started it is because I wanted to maintain something that was going to withstand that current pandemic or another one. So I'm thinking, I'm equating this government shutdown as to another pandemic. Lots of things happen like this. And we, at least me, I don't look at stuff as a negative. I always look at it the positive. How can we take advantage? And there's always some form that we can take advantage, we can benefit from. We just got to take action. Take lots of action. Welcome, Daryl, Michelle, Eli, Jersey in the house. Michelle says, I'm just looking to hire. All right, cool. We can go over that as well at the second end of the class. Also working on my brand and getting brochures, business cards. I love it. Action Takers is in the chat. So I pray that this class, we can take everyone up another notch. Another notch. Eddie says, hello, I'm trying to start up. This is the class for you. I'm going to help you start. I'm going to help you also give you some guidance on what you should be doing even after this class, because this class is great, but afterwards is the biggest question. What are you going to do afterwards? How are we going to make this money and scale it long term? Cosia? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. What about felons? Yep, this business is felon friendly, especially if you're not talking about driving with your car. If you're talking about driving with your car, yeah, they're going to give you some pushback. There is companies out there that will work with you even if you do have a felony. But if we're trying to build the business side, which I suggest everyone should be doing, the business side is not a matter of discussion. It has to happen. It has to happen. Excuse me. All right, let's get started. We 10 minutes in. Let me bring my screen up. Give me 1 second. Kimberly says, I'm ready to be an entrepreneur. That's what's up. Can we use a rental car for the courier business? Yes, you can, but you do have to be strategic. I say that is because a lot of companies are just not going to let you rent a car and be like, hey, use this vehicle. Use this rental. You can't do that. I tell everyone that you should be applying with the vehicle that you already have. And then once you get hired, get the rental car. Because that's what I did. All right, in the chat, can everyone put a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen? If you can see my screen, everyone can see launch, grow, and lock in 4 and 5-figure medical courier and medical supply contracts. Katina says, I'm transcribing this call with AI. Okay, I love it. Get it. Give me 1 second. Let me just make sure everyone on this other end can see me. Okay, everyone can see my screen. Yep, yep, yep. All right, let's get into it. Today, welcome everyone to my free medical courier and my medical supply class. This class is going to help you and assist you into landing your first medical courier contract in the first 30 days, as well as landing your first medical supply contract with the government in the next 90 days. So if you don't know, my name is Leela Brown. I am Leela the entrepreneur. I do have quite a few other businesses that I have been successful in. I've made multiple 6 figures within the medical courier industry, and I want to share with you all how you can do the same. Remember, this meeting, it's going to go long. We will have a Q&A session at the end, but at any time, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And as I'm going, I will do my best to answer everything. But don't feel like I am overlooking you, especially if there's a lot of questions coming in. Just stay to the end, and I will make sure I answer everyone before I get off of this call. So, a little housekeeping rules. I want everyone to understand this is not a get rich type of strategy, type of business. Yes, you can see fast results within a week, but I don't want anyone to sit here and think that I am promoting that you will become a millionaire in the next 6 months, a next year. This is a consistency. You have to be consistent. So, this is not the class for you if you think that we're going to get rich quick. We need to be consistent and get to our bag slowly but consistently. When I say slowly, you will see results, 5 to 10K months, 10K to 15K months. And for some of us, that is not that fast, just because the price of goods, the price of everything is up there. Someone said in my comment section recently that 10K is now a month is now the new minimum wage. And I can't say I disagree. So at the very least, I want to share with you all how to make your 10K a month with this business. Now, this does require, like I just said, consistency and commitment. You have to be consistent every single day working on your business, whether it's finding you contracts, whether it's getting your business contract ready, whether that's bidding on contracts. It does not matter. If you're not working on your business, you're not going to see the results. Now, this class is going to be for anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes long. Ask all the questions that you want. I will not leave until all the questions are completed. Make sure that you have a pen, a paper, or a notebook because I will be giving you leads, medical courier, organ leads. I'm going to be giving you instructions, things that you should be doing, that you should be implementing, as well as even homework. And make sure you cancel out all your distractions. Please, please, please. Do not do not have the TV on. Do not be over here scrolling on TikTok, on Instagram. I want everyone to lock in. Can you say that in the chat for me? Lock in. I want you all to lock in today's class. All right, let me move some stuff around because I can't see. I have too much stuff on my screen. Okay. Also, I am the only Leela_Brown. I am Leela_Brown on Instagram, on TikTok, as well as YouTube. So make sure anyone that is DMing you saying, hey, come join my financial program, come do Forex. Even though I am dabbling in Forex and trading, I'm not going to reach out to you and say, cash at me, send me money, invest in Forex or anything like that. So make sure that you put that at the top of your page. Leela_Brown is the only Leela because I have a lot of impersonators out there. And last but not least, I want you to invite this to two people right now that could get some benefit from this class. Anyone that you know that is like, oh my goodness, I need some money before the holidays. I don't have a job right now. I was just fired. I want you to share that with two people that can benefit from this right now. Lynette says, I get all of those times on TikTok and I let them know I know the real Leela. Exactly. Thank you so much, Lynette. All right, let's get into it. So, before I teach you the method, I want to share with you all proof. I don't want to just talk about it. I want to share with you actual results, whether it's from me and my students. So, first, we have Christina right here. She has won multiple medical supply contracts with the government. She emailed me within 1 week and won 4 contracts. Within 1 month, she won a total of 49 total contracts. She's up to like 60, 65 right now. Mind you, this is delivering medical supplies to the government without your car. Then we have Jim over here. Jim is doing it part-time. He has a full-time job and he's making anywhere from $500 to $700 a week. This is him delivering medical specimens with his car. Remember, we can do this with our car and without our car. I'm going to share with you in this class how to do both. Then we have Shay right here. Shay is doing 5K a month and she's delivering with 2 routes. She took one of my classes, like something like what you all took. She implemented everything and she got a second contract paying way more than her first contract. And I tell everyone, these are real medical supply and medical courier contracts we've helped students win. Over 1,000 students across the country are winning with this strategy. So if you're in California, you can win. If you're in Texas, you can win. If you are in Maryland, you're in Georgia, you're in Florida, you're in Washington State, it really does not matter. You can get to the bag with this medical courier and medical supply. Stephanie, I had a summit last year. She took my summit and she landed her first contract.
And I have like 4 to 5 new contracts.
What? Say that a little louder.
I got 4 to 5 new contracts.
So this is what I want everyday people to know, that you can get into this business. You can start with your car, or you can scale it to a medical supplier, even medical courier doing business with the government. Now, why is this the most recession-proof income stream? Well, it's because it does not require much from your end, especially for the beginners that wants to make money with their car. It doesn't require a CDL license. You don't have to have any experience. And for anyone that wants to take it to the long term, medical supplies and doing business with the government, you don't need a car, a vehicle, a box truck, a van, a cargo truck, none of that. And typically you can make over 100K a year. I've done more than that. I have students who've done more than that. And I'm going to share with you some numbers at the end on how I know for sure you can succeed and get 100K years with the medical courier and or the medical supply. Now, you've probably been burned by online side hustles before, but this class is going to be your reset. Now, let's do a quick pop quiz. All right? Quick pop quiz. So, if you had no money, no skills, and no experience, but in the next 72 hours, you had to start making an extra 3K to 7K per month outside your day job legally, I have to make sure I say that. What would you do? Would you start a business? Would you B, get a second 9 to 5? Boo. C, would you deliver medical products with your car or sell to the government? D, would you try all these make money online scams that people are like, hey, do this and you'll make 100,000 in the next month? Or D, do freelancing work. So everyone should have the same answer. Everyone should have the same answer. It is going to be C. Delivering medical products with your car and or selling to the government. Now, the reason why I promote this, not just because I believe I have done it. I've done it for several months and years. And the reason why I really like it is because you don't have to wait long time to see results. Once I started implementing the things that I'm going to share with you today, within 1 week on the seventh day, it was like seventh, eighth day, I got my first contract. Also, you don't need a lot or any startup money, especially if you're starting with the vehicle that you already have. And then you don't have to invest in these trucks or other bigger vehicles. You can make a lot of money in your car, in your four door sedan. And the greatest thing about it, you can do all of this 60 minutes a day. You do not have to sit here and be like, oh, you have to work on your business 3 to 4 to 5 hours a day. No, 60 minutes a day. And the best part is, over 1,271 everyday people are already making an extra 3K to 7K a month using this strategy. Now, my goal for you all today, it is to bless you with all the necessary tools to master landing medical contracts and to scale to $300 to $600 days with confidence. So, the strategies and methods that you're about to discover are the exact same strategies that I have personally grew my medical courier and medical supply business to multiple six-figure years, as well as my students. So, I have Derek here. He is working full time and he landed 2 on-demand contracts. And I want to break something down. There's a number of different ways for you to get into this business, whether it's with your car or not, but mainly we're talking about with your car. You can find routes that is hourly, or you can find routes that is on demand. I promote the on demand is because at the time when I first started, I was just creating and starting our event space business. Like we had just invested in it. And I did not want an hourly position that was like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. The reason being is because at any given time, I wanted to be able to not run my routes and focus on the event space business because it could be a Friday and we can get a contract, a booking. And so if I am working Fridays, let's say in LA, and if you know LA, you know it's a lot of traffic, it's going to be very difficult for me to run my routes and be able to get back into the Inland Empire because I am in Riverside County on a Friday. It's almost impossible. So I wanted to only go after on demand contracts. And that just basically means that companies will call you to work or you can call them to work. That means, let's say you're free on a Monday through Thursday, and I call this in particular company and I say, hey, do you have anything for me today or for the rest of the week? And they'll say yes, they'll say no. But I'll get more into it a little later. But I just want you to understand there is different ways for you to be able to get into the medical courier or courier industry, whether it's on demand or if it's hourly. And then you also can invest in a van like Tanya did if you do so. If you want to do so, and then you can land anywhere from 800 to $1,000 weeks like she has just from one route. Now, I do not promote anyone just making their money and making lots of money from one route. That's not what I did, and then that's not very realistic. It's going to be very difficult, almost impossible for you to find a company that's going to pay you 2,500, $4,000 weeks. That means in the full week and with a car. Now, sometimes you can do that with a van or a box truck, but I want to focus on the car. Focus on a car, and then you can scale it to a van, a box truck, or you can scale it to government contracting. Jasmine says, I'm in the Riverside as well. Whoop, whoop. That's what's up. Born and raised, I know the traffic as well. That's what's up. I have some LA people in the house, Southern California. And if you stick with me to the end of the class, there will be an offer for you to be able to get the exact same results. So, why should you start? Now, we talked about how it's fast money and you can get your first contract within a week. And it's little to no work, and it's an infinitely stack is because you can use different routes, different apps into making your money. Now, I don't want you to just take my word. I pulled some statistics. So I want to share with you the let you see that the growth in the medical courier industry. So a lot of people think that medical courier is only delivering medical specimens, blood specimens, or whatnot. But there's different categories, subcategories that fall under the medical courier. So as you can see right here, you see all of these different colors. Well, they stand for something. So right here, the darker blue stands for the medical supplies. The lighter blue, it is lab specimens. That is what I was mainly delivering. Sometimes with the routes, you can get some medical supplies that they'll include in there, but most of the time I was delivering lab specimens. Then we have transporting of x-rays, as well as prescription drugs, blood and organs, and medical notes. So all of this falls under medical courier. It does not matter for me whether I am picking up boxes for the hospitals, forms, important documents, lab specimens, anything and everything can go into my vehicle, as well as other non-medical items. Now, I will say this, I do promote, you getting contracts that are just specifically courier because it's not medical, but I tell everyone to stay away from those package deliveries like FedEx and UPS or whatnot. No, don't do that. But I want to share before I go to the next slide is the growth in the medical courier industry. So if you look at 2023 to 2033, we almost double in the need. It is rising. And mind you, when I first started in 2021, there was a need. And then with this whole government shutdown, I'm still seeing what I said even back several years ago. It is still the truth. This is the most recession proof business out here. And if you couple it with the transportation and as well as with government contracting, if it's not number one, but maybe number two in this industry of the most successful businesses that you can invest in that you will not regret. It is the most recession proof business out there. And I tell everyone, you are sitting on a gold mine to change your family's financial situations. I have a student, LaShawn. She's been with me, I want to say, over 4 years now. The first year she started with her car. The second year she got out the car and she said, I'm going to invest into vehicles. She has a cargo van and she has a transport van. She drives as well as her husband, and now she's transitioning out of the vehicle and now hiring people to run her routes for her. This is why I tell everyone, if you don't know how important this industry and why you're needed, you are missing. You are missing it. So, making this the most beginner friendly way to make an extra bit of cash. And mind you, I've tried it all. It is so much easier than drop shipping, selling products on Amazon, affiliate marketing, SMMA, YouTube automation, trading, real estate, and Amazon FBA. I'm not saying these businesses do not work. Yes, they do. But it is so much easier to start with the medical courier transportation of with just using your vehicle. So I tell everyone, which side would you rather be on? Put in the comments, would you rather be on the right side or you want to be on the left side? I do truly believe that it is a little bit more competition nowadays with the medical courier, but it does not mean that you still cannot compete and get moolah out here. A lot of people think that just because you have a route or the next person has a route, you are messing it up for the next person, and you're not. You are only one person and you only have a certain zip code, and not even a zip code because that's kind of large, that you can actually deliver just you yourself in a car. You cannot go from county to county to county to county. So you literally have to understand that this is something that you can get into and not feel like, oh my goodness, this is too much, it's oversaturated. No. So I tell everyone, you want to make a little bit of extra cash. This is a rinse and repeat method. When I go over everything shortly on what it is that you need to do, it is literally rinse and repeat. It's not rocket science. It's very quickly and there's no risk. The worst risks of it all, it is your time. It is your time. That is it. But it does not require investment money, pulling out loans or whatnot. No. Just looking over in the chat, everybody want to be on the right side, literally the right side. Then listen up. Now I want you to grab your pen and paper because we're getting ready to get into it. So be also I want to share with you, if you stay to the end, I do have some bonuses for you all so you can be able to take action onto these. So go ahead, comment ready if you are ready. Now, before we get started, I know some of you are probably thinking, who the heck is this Leela Brown girl and why should you listen to me? And that is a really great question. So I want to share with you a quick 3 minute-ish quick story about me and who I am and what it is that I did, what it is that I do, and where did I come from. So my backstory is I came from entrepreneurial family. My mom and dad were bakery owners. They had a school. They had a jazz lounge. What else did they have? They had a books, herbs, and things. It was so much that my mom and dad did. And it really stuck with me and my brothers and sisters. So, one of the biggest businesses, the most successful businesses that my dad and mom had, what was a bakery. So my dad made bean pies, cakes, cookies, tea cakes, enchilada pies. Like when I tell you, he knew how to cook, and he was a self creator. He did not go to school. He just tried and redid it and got better and better and better. That's my dad right here. So this is 19-year-old me right here. This is me learning everything. And 19-year-old me, I don't even know. I want to say I was actually learning it to take it to the next level. I was learning because I was interested in it. I love to bake. If you didn't know, that is one of my passions. That is one of my hobbies. It's cooking and baking. And you might just see a bakery soon from me. You never know. But this is the reason why I do what I do. I get it from my mom and dad. So after 19, 20 years old, I went to college. I did that whole thing. I wanted to, explore the world. If you didn't know, I was a homeschool student, child. That means from K through 12, I was homeschooled. So after, coming out of high school at 18, I wanted to explore the world. So I went into college. That's when I was at LBCC, Long Beach City College, and I wanted to actually see what the world was, be in a classroom setting. And then, like most people, especially if you're in California, you can't survive on your own. At this time, I had moved out on my own and I needed a side hustle. I needed a second job. And what better way to do it is to take what I learned from my parents. So, one of my first businesses, I did it with my sisters, my other three sisters. It was called Sister Shabazz, and we will go to farmers markets. We will go to pop-ups. If you are in the LA area, you should know about Lamert Park. I was set up on Sundays because it was free 99 to set up in Lamert Park. And that's what I did. I was a struggling student. I was working part-time. Then at the end of getting ready to go into nursing, because I was a nursing major, I dropped out. I dropped out. I got married. I started working minimum wage jobs, $12 an hour, and it was very difficult. My husband was working, I was working full time, trying to make ends meet. I had barely time to even just be married and indulge in that because we were newlyweds, but we were broke. It was hard. We were sharing one car, trying to get to work at different spots on different side of the city, and it was a struggle. A few years later, we moved jobs. I started working at Amazon. At the time, I thought Amazon was the best thing to slice bread because at that time we was making like close to $13 an hour, and at that time minimum wage was not 13. It was more like I think eight or nine. So, like a lot of you all, I had to move back in with my parents. And it's okay. I had to restart. Me and my husband, we had to restart everything. I was 30 years old, newly married, and I was struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. Again, I always had a side hustle. At that time, we were flipping cars because my brother had his own dealer license. So we would go to the auction and we would flip cars on the side, and then we would be working our full-time jobs. But at that time, I felt like a failure. It was hard living paycheck to paycheck. And then when I moved back home, I actually thought it was the worst thing, but I was able to spend more time with my family because in 2018, my life changed because my father passed. And it was very, very, very difficult for me because he was the one that taught us everything from religion to business to family. And when he passed, I just felt like I was broken, I was at my breaking point. And I had told myself at that time that I wanted to go all in. I said that um, the next year, the next moment, the next week is not guaranteed. So I told myself, you need to go all in and really not have any regrets because tomorrow is not promised. How many people in the chat feel the exact same way? Are you at a breaking point? Do you feel like you're at a breaking point right now? Great. I see a lot of yeses. So let this be your drive. Because every like my mom and dad always say, don't total dissatisfaction brings about change. Not dissatisfaction, total dissatisfaction. So I was broke. I had no free time, no connections, no money. A fire was lit inside of me. And I said that I wanted to try anything and everything because I did not know what I wanted to do exactly. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to do for self. That's what my mom and dad preached since I was about 5 years old is do for self. So I said I wanted to try new things. So I got into Forex. I got into crypto. I bought some Dogecoin here and it was pretty good. I made a little coins off of it. Excuse me. Then I started the vending machine business. I had landed my first couple of contracts, locations in warehouses, and it was great. I made money. I tried drop shipping. I did Amazon FBA. Like I did all of these things. But the worst thing about it, and I feel like that these are not things to say that you can't succeed in. But at the time, I wanted to make money. I had bills. I had competition, and I didn't want to wait long waiting period times because I needed to make that money right now. So while everyone was trying to make money selling the product online, because mind you, I told you I was trying to drop ship it and other things, I was like, how about I make money and a lot of money, but in person? I wanted to do things a little bit different. And I did not want a boss micromanaging me because I had plenty of that. I didn't want to own another in person business because I had just invested into the event space business. And I didn't have thousands of dollars to invest again because I had just invested into the event space business. It was over, I want to say about five, no, it was like about $7,000 that I had to invest in just to get the business up and running. But I needed to supplement that income. I needed a little bit more income because at that time we still had to paint the walls. We wanted to get like a backdrop like this. We have one in the back and in the front. We wanted piping and draping. Like we wanted so much that because we had already invested, I wanted to get something else that I can supplement my income, and that's when Medical Courier came around. Again, to qualify, all you needed was a car, 18 and over, and you can make money. I was a little skeptical. I took one of a class like I took with you all, and then I paid into someone's mini mentorship. And then I just implemented. I went in, I went in. I took action on everything that was in that class, along with everything that I had been learning in the last 5 years, heck, 18 plus years, probably even 30 plus years that I had learned. And I want to say about a week later into the class, I started to implement everything. So that means that everything I'm teaching you all, I want you to do the exact same thing. Is take everything and then implement tonight. So 3 weeks later, I was making my first 5K month. I was in the middle of a month. That's why I was only 5K a month. But all I was doing was delivering medical supplies and medical specimens. And as you can see right here, these were the medical supplies that they would include. And then these were bags of the medical specimens. If you see a zip tie. It's like a little red or yellow zip tie you see right there. That zip tie, it had to be untampered with. They would give us the blood specimens inside of these bags, and all I did was pick them up. I had a little cart right here, and I would pick them up from the hospitals and then take them to other hospitals or other clinics. That was all I did. Easy, right? And the greatest thing about it, I didn't need no special skills, no special connections, and I didn't even need to live in a popular area. Now, it was just me driving. Now, even though I say that, I have to be very real with you. I have been prior to this doing other independent contracting work like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, all those other things like that. And I had knew already where I was in Riverside, it is kind of a popular area, but it wasn't at the same time. I knew in that time that I had to go to LA, Los Angeles, I had to go to Orange County, I had to go to San Diego in order to make that real money at. So I'm just here to tell everyone, if you're thinking of saying, "Oh, I just only want to stay in my city, in my state," no, don't stay in your city. You're going to have to go outside. So, me being in Riverside, I was traveling to LA easily with no questions asked because I had already knew that popularity does matter. Even if I did not live in that area, I had access to the popular areas. So, the next month, I was doing $8,500 plus months consistently. I was able to invest in my current business and I was able to even upgrade my entire lifestyle. So right here, this is our event space studio. This is an old picture, but we've changed our door since then. But this is our business right here. It's called 951 Vibes. You can host, other people can host their baby showers, their weddings, anything and everything. And then we also will host our own events. It was like a two in one, making money, but then also we can invest in a place that we can actually throw our own events at. And that's me and my husband right here. Then I started to get uncomfortable. I got outside, I got out of my way. And a lot of you all will be like, "Oh, I can't do this." Oh, like you just give all of these excuses. And I told myself I wasn't doing that anymore. I wanted to get out. I wanted to connect with more people. I had already knew that getting to the next level that I wanted to get financially, it was going to involve me getting uncomfortable and meeting some new people. And that's what I did. So when I was starting a vending machine business, I had already knew about the government contracting. One of my students had brought it to me. So I wanted to indulge into that more. Each and every month, each and every year, that's what I did. And then I met Eric Coffey right here. If you know who he is, he's about 20 plus years in the government space, government contracting space. He is a guru and is very successful. So he invited me out when he came to LA, and I came to one of the networking meetings. I met a lot of people, and then people started saying you should start, sharing your story and going on podcasts or just speaking, and that's what I did. Stand Store, the Stand dot store that be in my link in bio. Well, they invited me out and they wanted to interview me about my success, and I'm talking about the medical courier and the government contracting side. Then I had my first mastermind with individuals, with students that actually graduated, that is now getting government based contracts, whether it's medical courier, medical supply, and non medical. And then I was even featured on the Circle of Greatness podcast. And all I had to do was take stuff as a beginner from my car, medical items, into hospitals. That was it, and that was all. Thousands of individuals have tapped into the system and was able to duplicate my success. Again, make money fast. It's not a get rich scheme. It's low competition, and it's work for tons of everyday people. I tell everyone I'm not going to guarantee it'll work for you. It's because I don't know your hustle, but I promise you, if you take everything that I'm telling you to do, you will see results. So you have to take what? Action. Put that in the comments. I want you to take action, not actually just action, massive action. And this is the only thing that I recommend to my husband, to my nephew, to my sister, with individuals that want to make money with their car, part time or full time. And a small story. So when I first got started doing medical courier, I was telling my husband, I was like, I'm about to do this. And like he knows me. He's like, oh, another business, like another one. Yes. And so he knew about it. Excuse me, within a couple of weeks, I was working. A couple more weeks, I was making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 weeks. Now he was like, "Wait, what are you doing again?" I was like, I'm just driving." Now he was already doing Uber and Lyft prior, but he didn't like that no more. And he went back to Walmart distribution center. So he was in the warehouse making money doing that. But when I started making my $5,000 months, $8,000 months, $8,500 months, he was like, "What are you doing?" So he went out on a leave and he was like, "I'm about to do what you about to do." And we started doing it together. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you can't do this without a partner. I'm just here to tell you that if you do have a partner, if you do have someone, take them along. You can go a lot further and farther with a team. And the reason being is because if you know about driving, you know that it's time consuming, it drains you, it's a lot, it's frustrating, especially dealing with traffic and whatnot. So I was able to turn my, 7, 8 hour days of me driving by myself to a good 10, 12, sometimes 14-hour days because we would drive together. Half the day he'll drive, the other half I'll drive. And then we will switch up. So when he's driving, I will be looking for other, routes, other things that I can add to our route in order to make money. So I'm only sharing this with you all so you can understand that you can do this with a team or you can just do it by yourself. And then I have John right here. I wanted to talk a little bit about this before we get into the meat and potatoes, is that remember I told you that it's a stepping stone. That is great. You need to be making money right now because bills is right now. But I want everyone to be thinking about long term, which is getting contracts in your business name. And this is what John did. He started off just like you and I, which is getting contracts with our car. But simultaneously, he is building his business on the side. He's building his structure, getting his EIN, LLC, getting his business contract ready. He received his cage code within a month. And month is because the cage is directly associated with government contracting. That is where you're going to be getting bigger and better contracts, not $300 a day, not $500 a day, on the upward of anywhere from $100,000 a quarter to sometimes even a million because you are getting these contracts. But again, if you just want to start off in the beginning making a couple of $100 a day, you can do that as well. So, how does it work? Eddie says, I have my LLC EIN, and you are already in there because that'd be the hardest part for people is getting that. So how does it work? How are you going to go from hospitals, using your car to making this bank? So I have a 3-step system formula that I have created for first I did it for myself. Then I started to share it with my students because I was like, if it works for me, yes, I can say it worked, but let's see if it works for other people. And once it started to work, I was like, cha-ching, we're in there. So the first step you're going to do is that you're going to find a contract. You need to find the contract, and let's break it down step by step. So the first thing is, I don't first of all, I don't want anyone to overcomplicate this. Ebony, a cage code is a code that the government will give you on sam.gov, and that is how you're able to officially start to bid on contracts. If you don't have a cage code, you cannot bid on government contracts. All right, so let's go back to where to find medical courier and courier contracts with your car. We were just talking about government contracting. We're going to put a pause. We're going to stop that for a second. We're going to come back to that. I want to share with everyone on how to make money with their car first. Once you know how to make money with your car, then we're going to go to the government side because some of you all is already past beginner and you already know that and you want to know what's the next step after that. And I don't want anyone to overcomplicate things. Medical courier and getting routes with your car, it is not rocket science. What it is consistency, consistency, consistency. Actually, in the chat, I want to know, where are you at? Are you consistent or are you committed? Put it in the chat. Where are you at? Are you like, I'm still thinking about this, so I'm interested, you know? But I want to know, are you committed? Are you interested or committed in the chat? Rashawn says committed. Michelle says committed. Brandon says committed. For my interested people, I want to change that mindset to committed. Who said both? Laquita said both. All right, I got you, Miss Jones. All right, we're gonna give me to the end of class. I want to change your interested state of mind to committed. And I'm only saying this is because if you stay interested, that's exactly where your business is gonna stay at. If you're like, I'm committed, I have a strong why, and nothing can stop me, I promise you, it is not a matter of if, but when you reach your goals. If you are interested, you would treat it like that. And I just want you all to have the right mindset. Okay, so this is how I found my first several contracts. Within within 4 weeks, I was able to land over 7 contracts in 1 month. Did I take all of them? No, but I was able to win and actually get hired from them. Hadissa says, I'm new in here. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. So, number one is going to be Indeed, indeed.com. Number two is going to be ZipRecruiter, ZipRecruiter. Number three is going to be the CLDA.org, the CLDA.org. Driver Talk, that is going to be CB Driver. That's C as in cat, B as in boy, driver, CB Driver. You will find the most leads on Indeed, then ZipRecruiter, then to CLDA, then CB Driver. That is the steps that you should go. Indeed first, ZipRecruiter, CLDA. And then at the fifth one, I tell everyone if you still haven't found any contract after doing everything I tell you to do in this class, then you go to the fifth way, which is Google. Google is going to be your best friend. You're going to put in the Google, you're going to put in medical courier, and then you're going to go past that first page, maybe even that second page, and start applying, applying, applying. But I tell everyone, I didn't even get to Google because I found what I was looking for on these first two sites. So now that you know the sites, next is you need to update your resume. You cannot be applying if you have an outdated or insufficient resume. Now, a lot of people tell me, oh, do I have to make a whole courier, medical courier resume? The answer is no. What I did was I had Amazon experience on there. I had office assistants, executive assistants, administrative assistants on my resume. And then the last two jobs that I had was Lyft and Uber. Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, like that. And that's what I put on my resume. Now, I know I told you earlier you don't need any experience, you don't need anything like that in order to get and land contracts. That is very true. But I do not tell anyone to go in here and just apply with no experience, because I look at it like this. If me and you is both up for the same job, the same opportunity, I have experience, you don't, what are the chances they're going to pick you over me? It's not. They're going to most likely pick me. So this is why I tell everyone, just update your resume, either your current job or your last job, to some type of medical courier or courier experience. Because remember, Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, Instacart, all of those, that is considered independent contracting or courier work. So that still fell under medical courier with these companies as far as experience. So update your resume. Now, for anyone, I want you to put in the chat. How many people in the chat either say me, you put me in the chat if you feel like you don't have any experience. Daryl, we about to get to that. We're about to get to that the next slide. But I want to know in the chat before we go on is how many people is like, I don't have no experience. I don't have no experience. I want to know because I'm here to debunk that too. All right, I see Tiffany, I see Myrna, Jackie, Timothy, Mrs. Jones. All right, cool. I'm here to tell you that you have experience. And the reason being is that whether it's paid or not paid, you have experience. Why? It's because you don't realize, or let's put this in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you have delivered and picked up medication for your child or for your mom. You went to Rite Aid and got some medication for your grandma. You know, you went and got food from for your loved ones. You went to pick someone, one of your loved ones up and took them to the doctor or to the hospital. You know, anything like that. If you've done that, then that is experience that you can put on your resume. I want you to go to ChatGPT, go to ChatGPT and put in the experience that you have done. I don't care if you got paid for it or not. And communicate with Chat and say, hey, I am going after a medical courier and courier position. This is the experience that I currently have. I want you to incorporate this into my current resume, and it will spit out some great verbiage for you that you can now put on your current or your previous position. That is how we're going to work around anyone that's saying I don't have experience. You do. Marjorie says, I've done all of that. I'm sure you have and some. So let's put it on our resume and make it work for us. Charlene says, I do Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates. So I guess a novice to experience. Yep, you got all of that. Put all of that into ChatGPT. Tell them to word it for a medical courier and courier experience, and then add that to your resume. Once you've updated your resume, then you can go back to Indeed and ZipRecruiter and update and add your resume up there. It's because it's going to make you applying for your position so much easier. Now, Daryl asks, what is the keywords? So there's a lot of different keywords. The top, I want to say three keywords that I use is going to be medical courier, independent contracting, car, driver, 1099. These are all keywords that you can use. Now let's go ahead and do some actual searches. So let's say the first one is medical courier. And put a city and state in the chat. Put a city and state in the chat. What's your city and your state? What's your city and your state? All right. Let's do oh so many. It's so many. It's so many. I see Fullerton in the house. Whoop whoop. All right, so let's do Austin, Texas. So let's go ahead and put Austin, Texas in here. Now the first keyword is medical courier. I want you all to put medical courier in here. And you see how it says 50 jobs? I want you to go to all of these pages and apply for everything before you move on to the next keyword. Do not skip around. Do not say, I'm going to apply for medical courier and I'm going to apply for this first five and I'm going to go to the next keyword. No. You need to exhaust every single keyword before you move on to the next. So then, courier, same thing. You have over 100 here. Then you have independent contractor. You got over 3,000 here. You are gonna have to look at independent contractor a little more heavily, is because it's gonna have a bunch of things that's not just medical courier and courier, because independent contracting can be a lot. So just make sure before you go on to the next keyword, you apply for everything. Because remember, it is a numbers game. So the next thing you need to do is that you need to open your mileage to 100 miles. So like when we go back to medical courier, if you see right here, it's 50 jobs and it's at 35 miles. You want to open it up to 100 miles. So your 50 now goes to over 75 plus. And the same thing with courier independent contracting. You want to open it up to 100 miles. I did the exact same thing. When I first got started, I was looking in Moreno Valley and then I was having a 35-mile radius. And I wanted to stay in my backyard. I wanted to, but even though I knew already, I was like, I can't stay. And where I'm at is because there's not a lot of opportunity. Remember, the more opportunity that you have, the more money you can make. It's simple as that. If you only got one or two opportunities that you're looking at, then you're not going to be able to weigh them against each other. You won't be able to say, oh, this the next five is better than the first five. It's because you didn't go in there and open up your opportunities. So you're not going to find it if you just stay in a small little zip code. So I always say open it up to 100 miles. Even if you want to say, hey, you're in a small area, let's say Austin, Texas is like a really small city, then you might want to go to the next city and open up your miles, to 100 miles and still start over again. But you want to be opening up to at least 100 miles. Eddie says, I've been looking for some for months. All right, so hopefully I can help guide you in the tips that I use in order to land a contract a lot faster than most. So we have opening our mouths up to 100 miles. So when are you going to start looking for contracts? That's what I want to know. When are you going to start looking? There's only about one or two answers I'm going to accept. Now is one. Yes, Christine. Rashawn says now, tonight, tomorrow morning. That's about it. You need to take action right now. And I tell a lot of people is that if you're not looking and applying every single day, you're going to miss so much. You're going to miss so much opportunity. And I'm going to give you an example. When I first started, I was on Indeed not once, but twice a day. I was on ZipRecruiter not once, but twice a day. I was looking, and I was turning on my notifications is because when opportunities come, especially the good ones drop, they do not stay. When I landed the contract that I had with Crosstown, it took about 3 weeks to land that contract. In the midst of me applying on Indeed, It was probably like 2 days that opportunity that was up on Indeed. How I know is because I was trying to get other people on by sending them the application. I was like, hey, go apply for this, because they were like, I want to do what you're doing. And I said, well, apply for everything that I did. So when I went to go send them that application to Crosstown, I want to say a couple of days later, I could not find it. The reason being is because later on, once I had talked to the hiring manager, he was like, oh, yeah, when we post opportunities, they only stay up for about 2, max 3 days, because we get over 200 applicants. And by that time, I know he said he only needs like one, two, maybe three people. So he's not going to keep that open. And if anyone's on here that's looking every few days, every 4 or 5 days, once a week, I promise you, you're going to miss the opportunities, because they will not stay there. Is LLC and certification mandatory to begin? Vicky, certifications, the only certification you're going to need is that bloodborne pathogen and that HIPAA. And I tell everyone, you can go and pay for that, but I suggest that you don't in the beginning, is because there are some companies that will pay you to take the certification. Crosstown Courier is one of the companies that paid me in order to get my HIPAA and bloodborne pathogen. Even TWIC. I wouldn't suggest that you go out there and get it. It's because for TWIC, not all companies is going to require you to have your TWIC. So if you go out there, get your TWIC, your TSA, and you don't even need it, that's a waste of time, energy, and money. So I say, if you get anything in the beginning, it is your bloodborne and it's your HIPAA. That is it. That is pretty standard what everyone is going to require. As far as your LLC, Vicky, you do not need an LLC in order to get contracts with your car. Now, although I just said that, I do suggest that you have it, because there's plenty of companies that even on Indeed and ZipRecruiter is going to tell you, hey, we want you to apply with your business EIN. Hey, we want you to apply with your social security. And that's no LLC. And you can do that. Your social security number. You can do that. But I just tell people, if you want a lot of opportunities, set yourself up to be able to accept contracts on the business side, and then the non-business side, which is in your name. So you know you don't need it, but it's highly suggested. Kendra, Crosstown Courier. Crosstown Courier paid me. So now that we got it all understood, that we're gonna all start applying tonight, we can go to step 2, is landing the contract. You need to land the contract. How are you going to land the contract? You're not going to land a contract if you're going to only be applying for 5 contracts a day. You need to be 25, but on an upward of 40 a day. It is a numbers game, just like anything else. If you want to see results, if you want to get 1 or 2 leads or 1 or 2 interviews a week, then you need to be applying for 40, 50 a day. Excuse me. Every single week I was interviewing, because I was applying for 40 a day. Sometimes I did 50 a day. I would do a half of that in the morning time and the other half in the evening time, because some positions didn't open up or didn't get posted up till the evening or the morning. I didn't care, because I said I was going to be I was going to be there looking morning and afternoon. And don't sleep on your weekends. Tonight, there's opportunities that drop specifically on Sunday, and don't drop no more the rest of the week. That's why you got to look every single day. But don't sleep on Sundays. Tonight, you should be applying for the max you can get, that you can apply for. And remember, once your resume is on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, you're literally applying in less than 60 seconds. So anyone's like, oh, it takes too much time. No, you're lazy. You need to be more committed. If this is what you want, you have to be applying, applying, applying. So in the chat, how many are you going to commit to? What is your commitment? Everyone's commitment is going to be different, but it needs to be over 25. Over 25. If you put in here 5 or 10, then you're going to get 0 results. Or you might get lucky. You might get lucky and get a contract. I won't say that, but I'm trying to maximize the opportunities, the chances of you getting a job or a route or a contract, whatever you want to say. So do I see anything under 25? Nope, I see 35, 50. Eddie says 50. Christine says 30. Kendra says 35. Monique says, yep. Sean says 50. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So once you start to apply for these leads, for these opportunities, you also should be applying with partners. They are partners out here, companies that already have contracts, and they're not necessarily posted on Indeed or ZipRecruiter. A lot of times, you just got to go straight to their website. You got to call them, and I want to share some with you right now. Mike, yes, you can. We're gonna go over that in the next slide. And so I'm going to share with you 10 partnering companies. These companies already have contracts. A lot of these companies get government contracts. I repeat, a lot of these companies are winning government based contracts. And all they're doing is going on, let's say Indeed or their website or ZipRecruiter to post the opportunity. But it's up to you and I to find these opportunities, especially if they're not all on Indeed. Because remember, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, those are just one area. Now we're focusing on another area of where we're going to find these leads at. Crosstown Courier, make sure you write down this. So we're going to screenshot. We're going to take a picture with our phone, or we're going to write everything down with our pen and paper. Crosstown Courier was the first company that I got hired with that actually paid lots of moolah. Was it the first company I got hired with altogether? No. I was able to get Crosstown Courier around the third week of me applying. The first week I got like 2 contracts. The second week it was like 3 contracts. The third week it was Crosstown and like 2 other contracts. This is why I tell you all, do not stop at the one contract that you want. Because if I did, then I will be still getting paid $15 an hour and getting a 35-cent mileage reimbursement. Why? Because that's what was one of my first contracts that I was offered. Did I take it? No. Mm-mm. And I had already knew that it was boo boo. It wasn't worth it because, like I said, at that time, I was making way more than Uber and Lyft. So I was like, I can go back to that. Talking about $15 an hour, 35-cent mileage reimbursement. That's no money. So this is why you should always be applying, even if you got a contract. Even if you think this is the best contract in the world, keep applying because it's always something better out there. What's a good range on a contract to take? So everywhere is going to be a slightly little different because of cost of living. So I'm in Hightail, California. So I was accepting anything that was over like $150 plus a day. Some stuff $100 a day, but it depends on what they needed me to do. Because some companies will say $100 a day, and you might got to run 2 routes. Some companies are like $150 a day. You got to run 5 routes. It just kind of depends. But I like to make anywhere from 100 to 150 on up per route. And we're going to talk about other ways to stack and shortly because I do not believe in just getting. Remember, I told you money from one route, one main medical courier route. Do you need your own car? Or can you do this with a rental? So, Charlene, I did this with a rental, but I did use my own car to apply because they're going to ask for registration and insurance and all that other stuff. So, once I applied, once I got hired, then I went in and got the rental car. But I was very transparent and I told them, I was like, hey, I have to get a rental car because I don't have reliability with the current car. It wasn't the truth. I just didn't want to use all that wear and tear and mileage on my current car because that was the one car me and my husband was sharing. So I said I wanted to put all that on a rental. But how I worked around it is I applied with the vehicle I already had, and then later on, once I got hired, I switched to a rental. Now keep in mind, you're gonna need to have the correct insurance. You can get a rental car and use their insurance, but I highly suggest that you don't do that because then you are eating up your profit. We want to be making moolah. We don't want to be sitting here using up our money in rental insurance. So what I did is I researched insurance, which was Geico at the time, and they will cover a rental car insurance for the whole 30 days. After the 31 days or the 31st day, you are not insured with the rental. So when I knew that, I said I was going to use my Geico insurance in order to rent vehicles and have, the full coverage, everything I needed. So in case I had gotten an accident, anything, Geico was going to cover it. And I didn't have to spend that 15, 20, 25 a day on insurance that the dealerships use, excuse me, the rental car use. And I was using Hertz. Hertz. What about a lease car? Yep, you can do a lease car with it. All right, so let's keep it going. So that's the first five. The second five, this is the second group of companies you should be reaching out to tonight. So remember, just to recap, you're going to go on Indeed. First, you're going to update your resume. Then you're going to go on Indeed, add that resume, and you're going to apply for as much stuff as you can in one sitting, preferably over 25. Then you're going to go ahead and reach out to these 10 partners that I just dropped for you. You're going to go on their website, and then you're going to find somewhere where it says apply, get started with my vehicle. Then once you've applied, then you're going to call them. Then you're going to email them. I tell everyone, do not just apply and then say, I'm going to wait for them to call me. No. What differentiates you from everyone else that's applying? That's how I was able to um get better results, is because I was bugging the heck out of people. You're gonna know who Lila Brown is. And if you don't, you're gonna give her a contract so she can stop leaving you alone. You all do not present yourself as hungry. You all need to make sure that you are telling, like, no one knows that you have a car that you want to do medical courier. No one knows. So this is your job, is to get in as many people and companies and say, hey, this is the vehicle I have, this is my availability, and I'm ready to eat. You need to really have that type of energy. If you're just gonna come in and like, yeah, I applied, nothing happened, nothing's not gonna happen. You really have to stay consistent and hit them at least 3 ways. 3 ways. So you want to apply on their website, you want to call them, and you want to email them. Even if you're on Indeed, I don't care if you're on Indeed and you're applying. You can apply for the 25.50 a day, but then the next day, I need you to be calling them saying, hey, did you receive my application? I need you to be emailing them. Hey, I applied yesterday. Did you receive my application? What are the next steps? You must do that. Now we're Crosstown. I'm gonna put Crosstown Courier in here. Crosstown has 3 websites. Um, I'm thinking that it's because it's like for people for the West Coast, then there's people for like the East Coast, then there's like kind of like Midwest and kind of up the middle. You should just be applying for all of them. All of them. So when you put Crosstown right here, look right here. You see Go Crosstown. This is Crosstown. Then we have Crosstown Couriers. This is another Crosstown. See right here, Drive With Us. You all should be at least doing this right here. Applying right there. Then the third, it is Crosstown Couriers. All 3 websites is going to be for different regions. I can't remember. I didn't even apply on the websites. I have went straight and found them on Indeed. Let's see if they have anything on Indeed right now. Yeah, I don't see anything on Indeed right now. But they pay really good. Yeah, they pay really good. So you need to go ahead and apply for all 3 crosstowns. I don't care where you're at. Is it true your vehicle must be 2010 or newer? What's we in 2025? No, that's incorrect. It needs to be 2015 or newer. Dre, I'm sorry. They usually try to uphold a 10-year range in your vehicle. So it needs to be up in 10 years. Go back 10 years starting from the year we're in now. I'm sorry. Um Is Crosstown in California? Yes, I'm in California. I am in California. I was running routes from Inland Empire. If you know where Loma Linda that is that a veteran hospital? I can't remember, but Loma Linda to Los Angeles, to San Diego to Bakersfield. I was hitting all everywhere. I was in California. Okay, so remember, we just talked about getting contracts on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. Now we're talking about getting contracts with these courier companies. Now we're going to talk about another level of medical courier where you can get some leads from. I'm going to give them to you though. Oregon Courier Partners. Oregon Courier Partners. These type of courier routes, medical courier routes, pay moolah because these are life saving type of courier opportunities that you should be applying for. Now, if you go onto these sites, you will find some that will have medical courier, medical specimens, medical supply delivery as well. But these also have organ courier contracts as well. So again, what are we going to do? We're going to do the 3 step. We're going to go to the website. We're going to go to Live Courier. Make sure you write all of this down, take a screenshot. We're going to go to Live Courier and apply on their website. Then we're going to wait a day or two. If you don't hear anything back, then I'm going to call them. And then I'm going to email them another day or so later. Make sure you keep record of what you are doing so you can know when is the best time for you to call and email them. Don't call and email them the same day. Let them digest and get the opportunity or your application, and then bug them in the next day or two. So write these down. So you should be applying for all of these courier partners that are for organs. Now I always ask everyone, can you just find one of these, right? Can you just all you need is one? Michelle, are there anything in Florida? Yes, there's plenty of opportunities all over. But if you go look right now, it's going to be a certain amount right now, and you need to apply. Then tomorrow you need to do it again because there are going to be new leads that is posted, and then the next day, and then the next day. If anyone is saying, "Oh, I can't find anything right now," it's because it might not be nothing right this second, but you need to check back tomorrow and the next day and the next day. This was part of my regimen at the time. When I was running my business still and I was looking for courier contracts, I made this part of my to-do list. It had to happen every single day. Eddie says airspace is hard to get in. Yes, it is, but once you're in there, you are making money. So you need to make sure that you're calling them, you're emailing them, and you are applying. Now, step 3, stack and repeat. I've been trying to get in. I got the app. I don't know if you applied online, not on the app. You need to apply online first, not the app. All right, stack and repeat. Stack and repeat. You need to understand if you're trying to maximize your earning potential, you need to be making money not just from one route, not from one courier route, not from one medical courier route. You need to also leverage apps. So, this is kind of going off of what Eddie just said about he applied on the app. Most of the companies right here, these apps, you need to apply online first. Then once you get approved, then sorry, my bad, sis. My apologies. So then once you get approved, then you can download the app. And then you can sign in with what you signed up for the information that's on the website. So do not go in here and say I applied on the app. Excuse me, and I'm still waiting. Sometimes they just don't. I don't know why. Some of them are a little complex or old fashioned and they need a little assistance. So that's when I'm gonna go on the website. So apps, these are apps. Apps is going to be things like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Lyft. We're not going to use those, but I'm just referencing those because those are popular apps that everyone knows about. But there's other apps out there that we can couple with our medical courier and courier routes. So I know Grab My Bag, you can I believe those are overnight contracts on the app is because you are going to airports. If you're local to an airport, I suggest that you should go to Grab My Bag, look them up online and apply because all you're doing is going to the airport and picking up people's lost or late luggage and then delivering it to the actual individual's house or whatever that you have to deliver to the location. The great thing about this is because you're making money on the app, but then you're also making tip money. People will give you money on top of whatever it is that you are delivering and you're making in the app. Zoom says, amazingly, I see you. Who's that? I just see Zoom user. So make sure you write these down. So you want to go ahead and look up Grab My Bag, Pickup, Simpex, T-Force, VHO. Bex is another one. Bex and Grab My Bag is another one that is delivering the luggage from the airport. Then we got Bungee, and then there's a lot more. I have a list of about 150 different apps. Now, keep in mind, I know a lot of these apps is going to put you on a wait list, but you need to do again what we talked about earlier. Sign up, get on that wait list. Couple of days later, call them. Day or two later, hey Tay. Yes, yes, yes. Hey Tay. And then the second way is you're going to email them. You want to ask them, if you don't know exactly what to say, get on Chat GPT. Say, hey Chat, I just applied for Curry because I know Curry is gonna put you on a wait list. Curri. They're gonna put you on a wait list, and then you're gonna go in there and say, hey, to Chat, I just applied with Curry. They'll have you on a wait list. What is, and create me an email to send to them in order to get me off the wait list so I can start to make money. Why am I telling you to do that? Because I did it. Use Chat GPT. So this is how I turn one route into multiple bags within the same days because I'm coupling apps with as well as medical courier routes. My slides are messed up. I'm gonna fix it though. Okay, so I had a student, I told her the exact same thing. This is around last year. I said, do not stick with one app, do not stick with one route. She has secured over 3 contracts and she's making over $2,500 a week from 3 contracts. One of them is an app, and the other one is 2 medical courier and courier routes. Now, another one. So I have more apps for you. Write down these apps. These are some more apps. This is also on your homework to-do list. You need to apply for these as well. A lot of stops come with VHO, Jackie says. I've never ran with VHO, but I treat them all the same. Is that if they can tell me what are the stops, and if they can tell me what it is, the amount I'm gonna make, most of the time they tell you that. If it don't make sense, then I'm not gonna accept it. I'm picking and choosing. That's the biggest reason why I like a lot of apps, is because if I don't like the mileage or the stops along with the pay, I'm not accepting it. No. And if I didn't have only, let's say if I only had one app, then I probably would just take those routes and go with it. No, don't do that. Use it to your advantage. Yes, there will be a replay. Are there apps that will route you your stop since you're using multiple apps? Miguel, I have not seen that. If anything, I tell everyone you need to be good at multitasking. Is because basically I just set it all up the same day. If I'm heading to a route, my main medical courier route, and I picked up and I'm going to another location, then I'll sit there and be like, all right, cool. Let me turn on some apps and let me turn all the apps on and then spend about 5 minutes or less to seeing what's available. Then I'm seeing which one is going in which direction, and preferably the direction that my first medical courier route is going in. And then once I've landed that app, then I turn the other apps off. But the only thing I've been able to do is just multitask and manage my apps day by day. I don't have any apps, at least any apps that I've seen that will manage that. Yep, Lynette, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. What's the last 2 apps that your video is blocking? Um, which one? You talking about this one? Bex and Bungie? Um, Spark and Curry? Is that what you're talking about, Vicky? Okay, I have more apps before we move on. We need to have more apps. So if you all are like, okay, I've been looking on these other apps or whatnot, and I am still on the wait list and I'm waiting to make some money. Well, I'm gonna give you some more apps that you can leverage. So we have field inspection apps. These apps, all you have to do is take pictures. So you're not going into houses. You're driving by, let's say a house, a community, a real estate investment property, and all you're doing is taking pictures. Some of them is like, oh, landscaping. They want to see that the landscaper do what they're supposed to do. You're just taking pictures. All you're doing, that's it. So sign up with some of these field agent opportunities. Then also, do you need a DOT and MC if you have a cargo van? If you're Drea has answered it, and that's true. She is correct. You do need an MC if you're going to cross those lines, state lines. But there is companies that do not require you to have a DOT or MC license because you're in the state. Okay, the other one right here, these two, InstaWork and WorkWild, these are just other apps where you can find employment and job opportunities. I say don't sleep on InstaWork is because a lot of times they will put opportunities on here and then it's up to them to hire you full term. And I say this is because a friend of mine, she has been on InstaWork and she'll find jobs. Like she'll be like, I'm in LA and I'm over here at the Chris Brown concert and she might be doing what is she doing? Like I forget the name of it, but it's like being a helper or whatnot. Oh, you might be at another stadium across the way. And so it is work that they're putting on there. One in particular job that she got that turned into a full-time job is that she was working in the hospitals as a sanitizer or sanitation worker. All she was doing is cleaning the utensils or whatnot. She found it on InstaWork. She worked there, and then they made her full-time. She's making great money with that, 6 figures a year with that. So I say don't sleep on InstaWork is because you can find opportunities. Let's say you say I want to work tomorrow. You already got your InstaWork set up. You can go not even apply, accept it. Accept it and then go work it and then you get paid for it. And if you're like, "Hey, I want more opportunities the next day and so forth," then you would just sign up and accept the work in InstaWork. So for anyone that is like, I want to make money with my car, you may have other responsibilities, you want some flexibility, then hit up InstaWork. And even these apps right here. So this is your 3-step system into landing medical courier and courier routes. So I have a question. What is the DOT and it's MC license or MC number? It is licensing that you'll need, and this is more for individuals that have a box truck, a van or whatnot, and companies is going to require you to have this. And this is why I like doing medical courier with our cars because there's plenty of companies that does not require us to have a DOT or MC license or whatnot. I have a van, Eddie. Am I saying your name right? I know you say you're a female. Is it Eddie? Eddie? Eddie's? Eddie. Okay, I'm sorry. But yes, if you have a van that does Edie, right? I got dyslexic. I'm sorry. Edie, I'm sorry. Got you. I won't make the mistake again. But yes, if you have a van or a box truck, since you do have one, you know that you don't have to have your DOT or MC license because there is companies that don't require it. You could just be an independent contractor if you stay within the state, but you can go and get those licensing. I just don't suggest it right at the top, out at the back, is because there's plenty of opportunity out there that does not require any of that. MC is expensive, Michelle says. Yes, it is. All that is, it just costs more money and time. Whereas if we just go ahead and be as an independent contractor, you can start making money like within a week. And since you do have a van, I would suggest you really going on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, because there's so much opportunity on there. My husband, he's been looking for some medical courier work because he was like, I want to make some extra income. We can use it. And so he's now on Indeed and he accidentally applied. This was just yesterday. Friday. He accidentally applied for some van stuff. They must have called him so fast. So if you have a van, they want you. But remember, do not accept those FedEx, those UPS, or those Amazon Flex orders where they be like, hey, come to our warehouse and pick up 200 to 300 packages and deliver them all today. No, I do not suggest that. Edie says, I have 2 SUVs and a van. Whoop, whoop. That's what's up. So you can hire somebody or get the contracts first, hire somebody and put them under on your van, or you can just focus on getting the contracts. You drive it, maybe a family member or somebody so you can kind of bring jobs, bring income to your circle, and then boom, you putting your vehicles to use. Okay, so how much money y'all want to make a day? How much money do you want to make a day? Are you trying to make $500 a day, 300 a lot? Okay. Come on, let's put a number on it. Let's put a number on it. If anyone is like, "Oh, I want to make over 600 or $700 a day with my car," then you're going to have to go after the business side. But anybody that wants to make $600 or $700 a day, I'm here to tell you it's very much so doable. What is your number? Because once you know your number, then you know what you have to do a day. You know, what you want to make, how much you want to make a day. Know thyself 800. Michelle says, I want a subcontract. Then who else do we have? Tammy says 750. Lynette says 500. Miss Jones says 800. Nat says 5. Candace says 5. All right. I'm here to tell you, mostly everybody, you can do this. You can do this. I was averaging $600 plus a day. $600 plus a day. And I tell everyone, if you don't know how to plan out your what your month is going to be like, what your goals want to be at on a daily basis, then it's going to be really difficult for you to be able to get to your results. So, let's say Lewis says, why not FedEx or UPS? Because it's a waste of time. I'm not going up in nobody's apartment buildings looking for their number to drop off their package. I'm not getting attacked in somebody's house because they got dogs out in front. I just don't think it's worth it. And if I don't do it, I don't suggest you ought to do it. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't. I just said that I don't suggest it. I want everyone to work smarter, not harder. Okay. Yep, see, apartments building take too long. It does. And you'd be frustrated. You'd be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. All right, so I made this little graph right here, this little small little presentation. And I basically put some numbers down on the paper. And I said this is based off of a 5-day work week. So a lot of people is like, hey, I want to make 250, 500, 700, 800 a day. But I really want to know, what does that look like a month? You know, for a lot of people, they'll want to make, $500, $600 a day. And then when I ask them, how much is that a month we want to make, they'll be like, $10,000. And it's like, no, it's actually more than that. Or they want to make 10,000 a month, and they don't realize what they got to do per day. So what I like to do is I like to know what it is that you want to make on a monthly basis. Then I can come down and do math to see what it is that I have to make on a daily basis. So for people who wants to make 5K a month, that's 1,250 a week, and that's 250 a day. That means all you have to make is $250 a day to make an extra 5K a month. For the $7,500 a month, that is 1,875 a week. That is 375 a day. The 7,500 a month was my sweet spot. That's what I wanted to do. Then when I started to make over 350 or 400 a day, I said I can go up more. My new goal was 10K per month. That is 2,500 a week and $500 days. Now, again, I like for you all to see what it looks like visually. A lot of people will tell me, oh, I see contracts and they're only paying $200 a day. That's not enough money. Well, it is if you stacking, if you're going after more than one route, and also what is your goal? If you telling me $200 a day is not enough, but your goal is only $5,000 a month, $200 a day comes very close. You just need to add a couple of apps here. So, Lewis says 7 days a week. No, this is 5 days a week. If you go 7 days a week, you can actually exceed this. Me personally, because I've drove before a lot, and with on demand, remember they call you or I call them and saying, hey, I want to work. I would take off the fourth week. And this is what I used to do with Uber and Lyft too. This is because it's a lot of wear and tear. It's a lot of sitting. It's a lot of driving. And me, if I'm out in these streets, if I'm out in LA, I'm not just going to come back home after 5 or 6 hours. No, I'm going to come back in 10, 12, maybe even 14 hours because I want to make the most money, especially if I'm out there in these streets. But on a 5-day work week and working Monday through Friday, sometimes Monday through Thursday, I was able to make 8,500, and I was off the fourth week of every week. Not technically off because, like I said, I was working my other side businesses, but I'm specifically talking about medical courier and courier. So for anyone that wants to do this 10K a month, $2,500 a week, and $500 days. Now I want to share with you how this looks. I'm gonna give out some examples, and this is the bare minimum examples. You can see medical courier contracts for, and this is very low, I'm gonna tell you, because you can see better ones that pay more. Like let's see what we're talking about right here. This right here is $1,000 a week. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is $200 a day. So my example here are very low. Are very low. I'm gonna see anything else that has the pricing on here. That's low. That's low. $20 an hour, that's standard. Okay, but my point is that I'm giving you an example on a very low number. On a very low number. So let's just say a company is going to pay you $100 to $120 a day. And remember, even though it says $100 to $120 a day, does not mean necessarily you driving 8, 10, 12 hours a day. You have to ask them, you have to go do a little bit more research to see what does their day look like. Because their day may be 3 routes and then you're done in half a day. Or it could be one route and you're done in a couple of hours and you still made this money. Here's another one, T-Force, 140 to 160 a day. These are all low ball. So let me get my little calculator out because we're gonna do some research. So let's say you have a route. Let's say we're gonna do a low ball first. We're gonna say you have just one route at 120 a day. And then let's say you're like, all right, I have these two apps. This app is the field inspector. So all you're doing is taking pictures. And this is a delivery driver. I'm not sure exactly what you're delivering, but these are, I think it's a small route. I think it's a small route. And but you see right here, 80, 87, and you see the times. This is at 2, this is at 3:33, and this is at 4. Excuse me. So let's say you did 120 here. You did 2 here. So let's say you did a 40 and a 16. And then let's say you did one of these, and that's an 80. So you did one main route, and then you did two, excuse me, 3 in the app. So 2 here, 1 here. That comes out to $256 a day. $256 a day, that's your 5K month right there off the top. Let's say you doubled it up and say you did an AM and a PM route. This one at 120 a day, and then this one at 160 a day. Then let's say you added 2 apps, 2 to 3 apps on each one because you're like, I'm here full time. So let's say you did a 16, an 8, and an 8, and an 8. Mind you, these numbers are very low because this right here is very low. And then let's say you did 2 of these. That's now $497 or $500 a day, 10K per month. Let's say you said, hey, I don't even want these. I'm going to actually go for the higher ones. That's $200 a day. Let's say you get a route that's 200 and you get another one that's $150 a day. And then you said, I want to do one of each, 16 and 87. That's still $450 a day. You have less routes. You have a main 2 routes, and then you have several of these. Do you honestly can see how you can make whatever your goal is? You need to figure out first what it is that you want to make a day, excuse me, a month. Then you need to know what you need to make a day. From that day, then you can go ahead and strategically map out your day on what it is that you want to make whether it's 300, 400, 500. I was averaging anywhere from 5 to 600 on a medium a day. So, and a show of hands in the chat. Is this doable? Yes or no? Can you see you reaching your goals? Yes or no? What are the times? The times will fluctuate with every app. Most of the times with the apps, they'll tell you, hey, run this route right now. Sometimes it'll give you a time like this. And then with the medical courier routes or courier routes, once you get hired, they'll tell you what it is that you need to run. So then you can figure out what days, what times works best for you with everything else that you are already currently doing. So I got very durable. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Most definitely. All right, cool. Yes, but will all the routes be available to just choose from to map out your day? It depends. From your apps, yes, you will be able to see what is available. But again, like I said, it depends on your app because every app is going to be different. Some apps will say, hey, once you turn on the app, this is what's available right now, and you're going to run these routes right now. You may say, I'm closing this and I open this up in 2 hours. You open it up in 2 hours, you say, you'll see this is what's ready to be delivered right now. You accept it, you go deliver it. So every app is going to be different. This is why I want you to have more than one app so you can play them all against each other. Let's say you turn on the app at 8 a.m. You take whatever they have available. You turn on the app at 12, same thing. But the more apps, the more opportunities you have to choose from. Fetch driver app is good if you are in the area, Drea says. Okay, go ahead and grab Fetch, add that to your list. That's a lead from the community. So I have another option. So some will all agree that this is where the moolah is. This is where the high paying medical courier contracts are. But it's not. These are opportunities that I'm sharing with you that you can do with your car. But what about getting contracts in your business name? That right there, way much more money. So I have right here some companies who are winning government contracts. Government contracts. This is contracts that you are getting in your business name, and you are doing one or two things. You're either hiring individuals to run to run the routes, or you are doing medical supplies, and which we'll get into shortly, where you are having third-party companies to deliver the product for you, like FedEx, UPS. But this is what I want you to look at. Crosstown is a company that's winning. This is one. This is Crosstown. This is Crosstown. Look how much Crosstown run. This is a month and a half ago, September 2nd. 141,000. Crosstown run this August 27th, almost 2 months from today. 70K. August 27th, which was the same day. 150K. Crosstown again. Mind you, I'm only talking about Crosstown. There's so many companies out here that is getting government contracts and is using us as independent contractors to run the route. But this is another option to where once you get tired of driving, once you started making your money and you're getting your business contract ready, and you're like, all right, now it's time to step and go to the next level, which is getting contracts in your business name. This is what I'm talking about. July 2025, 27,000. July 17th, 160,000. In 2 months, Crosstown did over $500,000. In 2 months. These figures that I'm giving you, that's over $500,000 in 2 months. Do you understand? These contracts are not on Indeed. They're not on ZipRecruiter. These contracts are on government-based sites. So we got sam.gov, we got Dibs, which we're about to get into shortly. You have your city, your state, and your county that has these medical courier, or delivery-based type of contracts that you can get in your business name. Do you understand what is the goal now? The goal is for you to make now money. It's a great stepping stone, but your long-term goal is going to be different than your short-term goal. This is your long-term goal. It's going after these contracts that is getting you this. And this is why I said this is the best recession-proof business that you can get into, especially in 2021, 2020, 2022, 3, 4, and 5, and so on and so forth. The reason being is because the government is your biggest customer. It's your most reliable customer because they can't, I told you earlier, they can't just go ahead and go to the Apple store or go to the clinic and say, hey, I need this ran. No, they have to go through certain steps and protocols, and they have to go through small businesses like you and I. There's a great percentage that they only have to do business with small business. You and I are small business owners. So all I'm telling you all is that you need to get ready to position yourself to get these type of contracts. So it's the money in the contract in a day, a month, or something. So that is most likely it's going to be in a year. A year. But the greatest thing about these contracts is that they can go from 1 year all the way up to 5 years. So this right here is 1 year. This is 1 year. This is one. And the greatest thing about it is look, September 2nd, August 27th. I said 2 months, but from September 2nd to July 17th, they did over 500,000. And that means $500,000 is coming into their business for these contracts that's going to last them one whole year. That's way more than $500 a day, $300 a day. So how are you going to go after this? Like, what is the first step? We talked about it a little bit in the beginning. Your first step is getting your business contract ready. That is your first step. If you don't have your business contract ready, then you are not going to be able to even bid on contracts. You can look at them, but you need to bid on them. So what I'm going to give you all is I'm going to share this document with everyone. This is a free document that I'm giving you all that I want you to work on simultaneously at the same time as you're doing everything in the beginning of this class, which was getting a contract in your car, applying for 25 to 50 leads a day, going to on ZipRecruiter, Indeed to find these different companies, taking my 10 medical courier and courier partner lists, going ahead and applying with apps. This is what you should be doing simultaneously at the same time. It's getting your business contract ready. It's because a lot of this stuff is going to take you time. It's not going to take you forever, but it can take you anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks in order for your business to be fully contract ready. And when I say fully contract ready, I mean not just having your EIN LLC, but also applying with SAM and getting your cage code. When you go on sam.gov, and you go right here to get started, you're going to register your entity, your business. Once it's approved, you will get a cage code. It is a 5-digit code, and that code is now only given to you and your business. Now you can go after and get contracts like this, for example. Did they show it? I don't think they show it here. Okay, I was trying to see if we can see this company's cage code, but you get to see their UIE number though. So you're gonna get a cage code and a UIE number. That's the number that is only given to Crosstown. Traticia says she's waiting on her cage code. That's what's up. It should take like 1 to 3 weeks for it to come. So you want to get your business contract ready. So that is, put that on the list of the things that you need to be working on. Is getting your business contract ready. Now, has this been powerful so far? Is this class has been has it been worth it? Am I taking up too much of your time? Because you've been doing something else better this Sunday? What's better than learning how to make some moolah? Make some moolah. Okay. You can take more time. It's helpful. Hadicia said, okay, I got you. But that was earlier. Yes, I love it. Can you go over how to bid? For medical, we're gonna go ahead and start medical supplies. We're gonna do medical supplies. Because medical courier, which is what we just talked about, for the most part, is you applying with your car. Now we're getting into medical supply contracts with the government. So this is your long-term goal. This is one of your long-term goals. So you can also get medical courier contracts with the government that you're not getting with your car. You can get with your business. That's a longer class. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna share with you the medical supply side and doing business with the government on dibs. So let's just clarify for a second. We have sam.gov that has contracts. Sam.gov has both medical courier, has service, which is medical courier, and product, which is medical supplies. Now, they also have everything in between, but I'm just here to share with you. SAM is service and product. Dibs, which we're about to talk about, is Only product. Only product. Non-medical and medical. So let me share with you right quick. Just a small preview before I start teaching. Let's go to 1023. So on 1023, which is that Thursday? Almost 1,200 contracts was dropped. Let's look at today is 26, 25. Okay, so Friday is 1024. Friday, almost 3,400 contracts has been dropped. Mind you, these are product, these are supplies. This is not anything service. So you're going to find medical supplies over here. You're going to find paper, pens, what else? Anything and everything. Aircraft, AC parts, car parts, boat parts, anything, everything that is a product. Think drop shipping, but better. Okay, so just so you can understand, we're going to be talking about dibs, only dibs right now. So let's exit some of this out. We're going to keep that up because we need this. Drew says, jump on most of your Zooms, never too much to learn. Awesome, thanks, sis. Okay, so let's exit some of this out and let's go back to here. So we have a three-step winning process for winning medical supply contracts. Kind of like how we do medical courier. I try to make it very, very, very easy and simplistic. I don't like to try to make it too hard or overcomplicate things. Very simplistic. So there's going to be three main steps. There's a couple other steps after this, but it's three main steps. You're going to be finding after you get your contract, you're going to find the product, you're going to find the supplier, and then you're going to bid. Just like that. So first and foremost, how much money do you must have to invest in the product side? If you are going to be using your own money 100%, you can start anywhere from 250 to 2,500. If you're going to go after bigger and larger contracts, then I suggest that this is why I tell you get your business contract ready, because some of the things that we do is getting you ready to get funding, getting you vendor credit or whatnot. So when you have that type of credit, vendor credit, when you go after and these contracts and win, you need to order the product. And so you can use your vendor credit for them to give you net 30s, net 60s, net 90s. And that just means once you order it, it gets delivered. You'll have, let's say you had a net 30, you have 30 days to pay your supplier. And that gives you time for you to get the product, repackage it, and send it to the government. After the government receives it, they're going to invoice you. That's all usually within 30 days. So once you get invoiced back, once you invoice them and you get paid, now you have an opportunity to pay your supplier back and not have to use any of your money. But let's just say you did, and it's going to be using your money. 250 and 200, 2,500 is going to be your sweet spot. Again, do you need a car, van, or box truck to do this strategy? 1,000% no. You do not need a car. You don't need a van, a box truck. You don't even need to hire a company or a person to run it. We're going to use third-party delivery services like FedEx and UPS. Where again can you find these contracts? You can find them on sam.gov and DIBS. But again, we're focusing on DIBS. DIBS, in my opinion, is one of the best beginner but also easy ways to get into government contracting without it feeling so overwhelming. On the courier side, when you're getting contracts with a business name, it's a few more steps that you have to do, and it's a little bit more intimidating, but most definitely very rewarding, because once you win, you get these contracts that last you anywhere from 1 year to 5 years. So before we can find the product, we need a contract that we're going to reference. And so let's go here. So let me just navigate real fast. On SAM and DIBS, but right now we're on DIBS, you do not need to register to do what I'm about to do right now. I am not logged in. As you see right here, I'm not logged in. And I'm not logged in on purpose because I want to share with you how you can do this without logging in. You can go ahead and research and find all of this that you're doing right now. So the first tab we're going to look, the only tab we're going to mainly focus on is this RFQ tab. So you seen down here, I went down to issue date and I found I found contracts, and these are all contracts per day. That's one way to look. The other way is go back to RFQ, going right here, this drop down, and hitting F federal supply class. So you have federal supply class, or you have product service code or class, which is PSC. So PSC and FSC are generally the same thing. Now, when we were looking for medical courier routes with our car, we were looking under keywords, right? Well, we're looking for medical supply contracts with the government. We need numbers, we need codes. The FSC and PSC means the same thing, are 4-digit codes. So you need to know what are the codes for medical. I know, write this down: 6515, 6525, 6535, and some more numbers that are in the 6500 is medical. Those are the codes to identify medical contracts. So let me share with you. Let's do 6515 for one. And you're going to press search. Under that one code, 6515 or 6525, 6535. Those are the three when we're going to reference. But right now, we're just going to focus on 6515. It's almost 1,000 medical supply contracts under this one code. Tomorrow, it's going to change. It's going to fluctuate up. They post medical supply and all type of contracts every single day except Sunday. Except Sunday. That's why I didn't click Sunday, which is today, because you won't see anything. So this right here is telling us it is over 900 contracts, almost 1,000. And here they are. You have tracheal tubes, we have needles. Now, I tend to stay away from anything too complex. For example, anything with needles, anything that's like drugs, anything that's like medication or like this intravenous injection, I stay away from. But there's so much more on here that we can go after. We have eye shields that we can go after. We got I would even look at this, the surgical general surgical knife, um this oral nasal mask. We have suction cups. So if you see right here, let's go back to the top. You have an NSN, which is your part number. The first four is that 4-digit code 6515. So if I automatically see 6515, I know it's medical. Then we have the nomenclature, which is the description. A technical documents. If you see anything that has technical with a little clipboard, stay away from it. You have the solicitation, which is the contract in itself. This is where you actually bid. You press here to bid. This is how much the quantity is needed. It goes from 1 to 2. It can go 10. It could be 100. It could be 1,000. It ranges. Then we have an issue date. The issue date is when the contract dropped. This is the potential return date. This is the return date that they're asking for the contract to be bidded on. Keep in mind, what I'm telling you, if you take another class of mine and we talk about SAM.gov contracts, it is different from DIBS. If you see a return date and it has passed and the contract is still here, that means we can go after it. So we are in October 26th. You see this contract right here that says return by August 11th. This one's September 29th. We can still go after it. So you have a lot more opportunity to go after. If you want to be strategic and only go after old contracts that nobody is paying attention to, you can do that. Or you can go after contracts that is about to be due. As you can see right here, 10/27, today is the 26th. This is due tomorrow. It doesn't mean that after the 27th, it'll go away. If no one's bidded on it and won it, it is still right here. Um, You said, do you need a physical address to sign up with the Gov website? I tried to use my virtual and I was deemed ineligible until I can provide a real address. Yes, that is correct. Let me go back to my Get Government Contract Ready list that I gave you all. Because on that list, it specifically says on 6A, absolutely no virtual address or P.O. box. Because the government will not, SAM and DIBS will not, and even your city and state and county, they're not going to accept you with a virtual address or P.O. box. So that is right, KK, or Kiki, sorry. Um, you can, if you want to go the route I did, is that we use our brick and mortar address, our business for our event studio to apply with sam.gov. But if you are like, hey, I don't want to invest in a business or an office on the boulevard, then use your home address. Your home address does equal a physical address. I know some of y'all don't want to use your home address, but you do have to understand it's either don't use your physical address, your home address, and invest in the actual space, but you're going to spend money over there. Your home address, you don't have to spend no money. Think of it like this. You sign up everything under your home address, start to win contracts, make some money, then change everything later once you start to making your money. All right, so let's go back. I had to answer that question because that's very important. A lot of people um don't understand that and be like, "Oh my goodness." It's yeah. So I just need you to everyone to understand you need that physical address. All right, so we're almost done. I know this class is getting kind of long. Where we're at. So let's get a contract so we can start to find our product and stuff. All right, let's look at this arch support. No, I don't like that one. I'm trying to make sure I do something really easy. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this earplug. You're welcome. All right, so this is the earplug. One thing about dibs is that it automatically tells us who our supplier is. Even though we found out who our supplier is, it doesn't mean all the time that this is the company that you're going to use to find your product. This is just telling us who is the approved source, and it might just be a manufacturer. You still have to go find, let's say, a supplier distributor, because a lot of times companies will not do business with us through the manufacturer. They'll say, go find our supplier and our distributor. This is where our research come in at. So once we have the product, let's find the product. The product is an earplug. We need to find this earplug. The only thing that we have to identify if this earplug is the correct one is this part number right here. You see this? Part number. So what I do is I usually go into Google. I copy this name, excuse me, and then I go back here and get the part number plus the company name that's associated with it. Now I press enter. So the first thing is we found the product. The next thing is that what we're doing right now is finding the supplier. So I'm going to skip the sponsored and I'm going to go straight to air gas. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go here. The biggest thing that we need to do is looking for this part number to make sure we have the right earplug. Because if we don't have the right earplug and we bid on it and we send it to the government and it's not the correct one, then you're going to have to, they're going to deny it. Then you're going to have to spend more money to get that shipped back to you, get the correct product, and then reship the correct product. And I don't want you to do that. I see there's a net 30 for U line. I see U line, there are net 30s. Yes, that's correct. Um, all right, so 1201. So that's what I'm looking for. Oops. I mean, yes. So what I'm looking for right now, again, is this part number. That's the part number to the T. That's the part number. Hold on, let me make sure. Yep, 312, 1201, 312, 1201. That's the part number. Now remember, when we're right here, it says Airgas is the company that has these earplugs with this part number. And that is true. We found it here, but we also found it on Amazon. And we also found it on 3M. And then, is this correct? Yep, that SKU is right. And then we also found it on Durarell, Durwear. So I just want you to understand and think of it like this. Let's say you're going to go get an iPhone. You know iPhone is a manufacturer, Apple is a manufacturer of iPhone, but you can find distributors or suppliers that are like from Best Buy that has iPhones, from Walmart, who else? T-Mobile, and any other site. What else is like? What's that other one? It's those other cell phone companies, but Apple is a manufacturer, but it doesn't mean that we cannot go and get that product and different suppliers or distributors. Does that make sense? So this is why I did not just say I only want to go after um, air gas, because they may not even allow me to do business with them because they're manufacturers. So you want to have options. So once you found the product and you got the pricing, the next thing you need to do is you need to register and become an authorized reseller. The biggest reason because of that is not just because it's mandatory with the government, but it's also so you can get the best pricing. This is most likely retail. We want wholesale. We want a cheaper price so then we can make more money. So once we have our quote, so like let's just say we register, we become an authorized reseller, then we hit up the company, the sales department and says, "Hey, how much can I get this wholesale?" Then they'll give me the price. And this is another thing I want to talk about on Dibs is that let's say you click here. This is a solicitation. It's going to download. You scroll down to right here. This gives us the procurement history, which is the pricing. So remember I told you we need wholesale pricing because that's retail, 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 retail. This is why. It's because Dibs tells us who won previously, for what quantity amount, for what unit price. They won this last month, $32.48. So that means you and I need to go and become an authorized reseller so we can get wholesale pricing. Why is that important? So we can beat this bid out. If we come in here talking about we bidding at $40, we're going to lose the bid. It's because with government contracting, it's the lowest who wins, not the highest. It's the lowest bidder who wins. So if you're like, hey, I'm using this research, this information as research, but this will help us bid, I know I need to beat this price. So when I'm going in there, reaching out to manufacturer suppliers, distributors, I want to sign up so I can get wholesale pricing. $42 a buck, $42 a box is going to cancel us out. It's because 32.48 won. Does that make sense, everyone? It got quiet in here. Okay. All right. I got y'all back. All right, cool, cool, cool. So once you become registered and become an authorized reseller, now you can do what's left is go ahead and bidding. Simple as that. You're bidding. So that means you're going over here to bid. I won't go too much into it because it's very simple. It's literally putting the price in, answering a couple of questions, one sheet long, and then you submit. Your goal is to remember earlier I was talking about our goal is to do 25 to 50 a day for our car. Well, for government contracting, I want to see 30 plus a month. So think about one bid a month with government contracting. So that means if you are going to bid on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this is potentially the same contract, the same opportunity. They just wanted it at different times in different quantities. So once you get the pricing and you locked in a wholesale price, this right here, once you bid, is technically 5 different bids right there. 5 different bids. That means we need 25 more of those before the month is over. It's again a numbers game. If we're going after 1 or 3 contracts a month that we want to win, then we need to be bidding for 30 plus a month. If you want to go to 5 to 10 a month of winning bids, then you should be bidding on the upward of 50 to 60 a month. Does that make sense? ED says, yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. And another class for this one, I'm ready. No, I agree. I understand it. That's why I'm not going to go too much further into it. I just want you to see what is your long-term game. We know the short term, my head hurt. We know the short-term game, which is getting money with your car. But I just want to give you I guess I got some type of blueprint so you'll know what is it that you got to be working on towards later. Because at some point you're gonna be tired of working. It's gonna be driving. You're not gonna drive forever. I promise you, you're not gonna want to drive forever. So let's just go ahead and wrap it up. So that is how do you find and bid on medical supply contracts. Again, no one in here is ready for that because your business is not even contract ready. You're not even contract ready for that. But the same way we found, you can bid on medical courier contracts with your in your business name. The same thing with medical supply. You see 6515, this company's won two $12,000 contracts. And this is just supplies. Just supplies. So I have a question. Isn't this obvious that this is going to be your path to freedom, whether it's short term to long term? Short term to long term. So let's recap. So now you know the 3-step system that how I make an extra 3 to 8K a month with just my car. You now know the medical supply industry that's paying people nurses' salary, no vehicle, no car needed, no experience. You now know how to start a beginner medical courier side hustle and then scale it to a medical supply business or even a medical courier business doing business with the government. So again, I'm going to ask, was this web class worth your time? I can you see now how to make this 2 to 8K a month? I ask everyone, isn't it obvious that now is the best time to take advantage with this opportunity, whether it's medical courier or medical supplies? And then I want to know, do you think you can get the same results just from the beginning stage, from everything we went over in the beginning of the class? Because I know you can do it. Even from what I showed you today, you all can land your first couple of contracts with your car. So you got the roadmap. Now, the real question is, are you going to walk it alone? Are you willing to give yourself 30 days? 30 days. Not the medical supply. That's not going to happen in 30 days. But the medical courier. Are you willing to give yourself 30 days? For everyone, I asked the question in the beginning, are you committed or interested? Are you committed to at least going after the medical courier industry with your car? So let me ask you a question. Give me a yes in the chat if you feel like you have a clear strategy now. In the beginning of the class, you probably was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get these leads? Give me a yes in the chat if I delivered on my promise and I gave you the 3-step formula that you needed so you can now excel. Give me a yes in the chat if I have your permission to share with you what I was talking to you about in the beginning about government contracting, getting your business contract ready, lead list, everything, and some more. So, I want to personally help you get and find direct medical delivery routes and bid on medical supply contracts for the individuals that want to do this long term. So, I have what's called the Lab Academy 2.0. And inside the Lab Academy 2.0, it is going to be my medical courier mini course, which is this course, but it's a little bit more extensive. Also, the medical supply workshop, government contracting for beginners. We also will do bi weekly coaching calls. I help you to grow your personal credit and get business funding. So when the time comes for you to invest in box truck, vans, or even medical supply contracts, you're not using your own money. And I have more that's inside this community. For my fast action taker bonus takers, like I told you, I have the good government ready checklist as a bonus, but I already gave that to you all. I have the medical courier ebook, that's the bonus number 2. I have the lead list with over 1,500 medical courier and courier companies. And just to share with you what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. So, a lot of you all, at least I've experienced it, people do not want to find their own leads. So, I made this lead system right here. Additional leads right here is everything that's nationwide. Then we have Oregon leads. Then I mapped everything from state to state to state to state. So you get that inside when you, as a bonus, when you grab the lead list bundle. This right here. Then you get the Chat GPT prompt. So for everyone, especially who's that said their hair was hurting, I created some easy things, prompts that will help you be able to bid faster, easier by yourself. But I have a prompt, and you use AI in order to get your bids in. You get the Chat GPT prompt. I also share with you how do you hire a virtual assistant. So I use a virtual assistant in the Philippines. I pay her $7 an hour, and she finds contracts on my behalf. She does everything that I need to do. She research for me. All I do is bid. So I share with you how to hire and train your own virtual assistant, how to apply for your own grant. So even though you are going to be getting business funding and building your business credit or whatnot, what about free money? That's where grants come in at. So I have a grant course so you can be able to actually bid and win your own grants and then use it in order to grow your business. I also have a mobile notary course in here. These are other sub businesses that you can add to your medical career that aligns with what you are currently doing. I told you I invested in vending machines. I had over 7 different locations, and I am sharing with you all how you can do the same, and so much more. So inside this community is over $19.97 of value. Today it is $297 for 12-month access. But for you all who want to take action today, I'm giving you all for $197 for the whole entire year. So that means every course, every workshop, you get the bi-weekly calls. We have a call this Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you need help with getting contracts, differentiate which is what to say on this contract, to for trying to find new leads, what to say when someone responds to an email to you about a contract. And mind you, I'm talking about medical courier, or it could be medical supply, it could be government contracting. This community is for the beginner or the advanced. So, who is ready to take the leap and join this Lab Academy with me this Tuesday? Will be our first class. If you're interested, you can access this. And mind you, the 197 offer is only available till tonight at midnight. It goes back up to 297. So it will be regular price. So who's ready to lock down their spot? Remember again, you get the Fast Action 8 bonuses. And Yeah, you get the 8 fast action bonuses for free. I'm not charging anything like that. But you are going to be able to take advantage of everything else that I'm adding to the community as we are growing with the community. So as of right now, I'll drop the link right now, but I also want to answer any questions. When you grab the link, here I'm gonna open it. I already have it to where it is discounted already. After midnight, this price will go up to $297, but it's already discounted for you on. So all you have to do is you either can pay in full or you can do payment plans. If you're on the school community trying to pay, it's gonna require you to um, pay the $297 as you see right here, and it won't give you payment plans. But this is the community in itself right here. These are the classes right here that you can be able to, the courses that you can actually be able to start right now. Everything that I talked about in class, plus the membership gifts I told you. This is the community where you can ask your questions. Congratulations, Albert. Congratulations, Albert. Welcome to the community. You can be able to ask your questions, share what winnings you have. This is our calendar tab. Our calendar tab is have our dates. So we have our next call in 2 days. And then also I have what's called the leaderboards. The leaderboards unlocks a new level each and every time you engage in a community. So this is just another bonus that I have. So if you are liking, commenting, sharing your experience, will you get to move up the leaderboards? So I have a credit building ebook here. Everyone who unlocks level 1 gets that. Level 2 is an app list. Remember I told you I have an app list. This app list has 100 and almost 50 different opportunities for you to go a leads, so you can be able to go after, apps in your city or state. You also have the medical supply playbook unlocks at level 3. I have a product bidding pricing template. So I understand it could be a little intimidating. I know I remember I seen somebody said their head was hurting. Congratulations, Tammy. But welcome to the community. But there's things that I created to make that whole process a lot lesser and less intimidating. So I have a product bidding price sheet. I have a right government proposal using AI. That's another course. I also have a done for you bundle that opens up at level 6. So for anyone that's like, oh, I want to do the medical supply, but I want to start off with the medical courier, do the medical courier. Work your way through the community. And then once you reach level 6, I actually have a list of medical supply contracts that are on dibs that all you have to do is go and reach out to the supplier that I already got the product website link, get the pricing, and then just bid. I have the contract right here. Let me show you. Let's see if it opens. It might be taken. Let's open up another one. All right, cool. So this is electronic covers. I make sure to include medical and non-medical is because once you learn how to find and bid on medical supply contracts, you literally can go after any other product-based contract. So what you're doing is not just learning the skill for just one avenue. You're learning the skill for all different type of niches and businesses that you want to go after and get contracts. So I have it to where I found the contract for you. Then I found the actual suppliers. These are the suppliers. McKesson, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers. All you have to do is create, register, and become an authorized reseller. So I do all of the hard lifting for you. And that's one of the perks that you get when you're inside the community. So the leadership board, welcome Nakia. Welcome Nakia to the community. The done for you is here. If you known or been a part of my 5 day challenges, I have these 5 day challenges, and it is this what I've done, but very much so slowed down to each and every day. And it's so much better is because you can be able to digest everything, do everything, and then go to the next day. But I have it so that it unlocks on level 7, and this is the 5-day challenge. And then I also have homework to help support and keep you accountable. Then I also have a high ticket mentorship, a one-on-one that I do. And once you reach level 8, you can get 15% off. And then the highest level, it is a VIP day with me. So it's dinner, and it's also with me helping you and sharing everything that I did in my business and how I can do the same in your business. So this is a growing community. We also have other things in here. We have other perks. We're going to have other giveaways. So the people that are like in my top 7 or like my top 3, as you see here, then they get into a running of a sometimes I do giveaways, sometimes I get cash giveaways. It just depends. Congratulations, Stephanie. Welcome to the community. And so much more. Remember, this is a growing community. I do have the Lab Academy 1.0, but this is the 2.0. This is brand new. I've only released this community, I want to say, in the last month. So it's still growing. So do expect that more classes, more mentorship will be in here, especially on the calendar side. And remember, once you pay once, then you'll have access to everything that I upgrade in here. So I suggest that you don't walk, you run, is because you get to save $100. Now, Vicky says, link please. Okay. Now we're going to do question and answer time. Question and answer. So let's bring up. I see your hand up, AC. Go ahead and unmute yourself. AC.
Hello,
Hi.
how you doing?
Good, good. And yourself?
Just wondering, I was trying to join the community on school, but it has the 297 tab to join, and I just paid the 197. So how do I get access?
Okay, so everyone who just paid, I'm about to give them access right now. So your email that you just used to sign up, you're going to look for an email from school. And inside of in that email from school, it's going to invite you to this Lab Academy 2.0. You're going to register with your name, your email, and I think they're going to ask one more question. And afterwards, then you'll be inside the community. So if you just give me 1 minute, I'm going to do that right now and grab everyone who just joined and get you in here. Okay, let me. All right, give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. Any other question? Oh, Tyleria, he says, I don't have a car. What's your advice for me, please? So you have a couple of different options. If you do not have a car, then I suggest that you start the business side. There's a lot that you can still do, even if you don't have a car, that I went over in the first part of the class, which is going after and getting contracts with your car. But in reality, what you're going to be doing is getting contracts in your business name. You can find a lot of these leads on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. You just have to ask them, are you accepting vendors? So then that means you hold the contract and you hire people with the vehicle or vehicles that is needed. So you can start by the first step is getting your business contract ready. Even if you don't want to do the supply side, you still have to get your business contract ready. So if you want to do the medical courier side, get the contracts. Now you just hire people under you. Um, Let me do this though. Any other questions? Copy email. Okay, Albert, check your email for school and accept. Uh, Tammy, check your email, please. Nakia, check your email. And then Stephanie, check your email. How do I register for dibs? You have to register for SAM first and get your cage code. SAM is a prerequisite to dibs. To dibs. Edie says, how often do I have the offer is so often is the classes? So these classes that I do is normally on Sundays. And then the classes that inside this community here is going to be bi-weekly. So we have the next one on the 28th, and then the next one on the 11th, and then the 25th, and so on and so forth. Miss Jones says, I'll start with my car first. Yes, ma'am. Edie says, so that's all in this class. Yes. I don't want to overwhelm everyone. I feel like this class is long enough. It's been 2.5 hours. I was supposed to keep it for an hour to hour and a half. I'll try to do that next Sunday. But I'll be trying to make sure that everyone gets a clear understanding and get everything that they need to at least, even if you don't join the community, you can get started. All right, so let me go back up. Question, so don't have to pay no more, Edie says. Nope. Once you're in the community, you're in the community. And whatever else that I add to the community, it is yours. I'm not gonna say, hey, pay something else, unless it's like I'm offering the one-on-one mentorship. That's something that I will be offering in the community. And here once or twice a year is the one-on-one mentorship. And that just basically is like a done with you and done for you type of program. And so that's where I help guide you one-on-one, but then I also help find your contracts, help you bid on your behalf, and just do a lot of the stuff for you so you can learn. And then I actually implement everything and get you the contract. So about time, I want to say in 60 to 90 days, then you know how to get your own contracts because I'm only going to get contracts for you for the first 60 to 90 days. Did you say we can still register with SAM while the government is shut down? That is correct, Antoinette. I have a couple of students that is in the Lab Academy that actually just got their cage code within the last 2 weeks. Make sure you're in. Tammy, I see you. Albert, you're in here. Welcome, welcome. Do you need commercial insurance and how to get it with the rental car? My car is a 2013. So Hadassia, hopefully I spelled that. I said that correctly. My apologies, sis. You are most likely companies is not going to approve you with a 20 and 13. It needs to be 2015 or newer. I don't think they're gonna. Now, I'm not saying all. Some companies will approve you with an older car, but most of them will require you to have a 2015 and above. As far as the commercial insurance, I don't suggest anyone going to go get commercial insurance until they get the contract first. And most car contracts, it's not going to require you to have commercial insurance. That's mainly, for the most part, for your vans and your box trucks. So if you don't have a van or a box truck and you don't have a contract, and I would not suggest you getting the commercial insurance because a commercial insurance could be anywhere from 800 to like 14, $1,300 a month. And that's a heavy amount for you to invest in, and you don't even have the contract just yet. I work full time. Have you or do you hire others? Do you need to be certified as well? Stephanie, I have hired. Right now, I don't have anyone is because I've been going after more supply side because supplies does not require you to hire anyone. All you're using is FedEx or UPS in order to get the product delivered to the government. But yes, you can hire. I've used the same sites that I've used in order to look for contracts on Indeed and ZipRecruiter is the same contracts that you can go on there and post up a job. So let me just show a little real quick. Right here, post employers right there. That's for you and I that needs to go look for individuals. Now, there's a couple other sites that you can use, like Courier Board, but it is going to require you to pay. I believe it's like $75 to $100 for you to pay in order to get on their site. And then that site will give you individuals' names, emails, what insurance that they have, what vehicle that they have. And from there, you can email or you can call them and say, hey, I have an opportunity and it pays this, this and this and that. You already have a pre-qualified individual on Courier Board, but on Indeed and ZipRecruiter, you are going to have to post it and then actually do the hiring process. Not saying that you're not going to do it on Courier Board, but you can see a little bit more qualified individuals on Courier Board because you can see the vehicle, the insurance, what type of certification that they might have. So you can kind of weave out who you want and don't want. Okay, let me go ahead. Victor said, I just signed up. I'm in. Welcome, welcome. That's what's up. Let me grab actually, a few people that just came in. Congratulations, Victor. Let me send you your email. Let me exit some of this stuff out because this is getting too much. Okay, Victor, go ahead and check your email for me, please, and accept. Welcome to the community, Tina. I'm going to pop this in right here. Check your email, Tina. Let's see next. Welcome, Christine, to the community. Check your email. And then Edith, welcome, welcome. I think that's Edie. All right, check your email, please. All right, let me get back to answering questions. Do all the classes be on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern? I have a real estate class on the same day at the same time. KG, so as the community grows, as this number grows, I'm going to be adding more classes and I'm going to add them on different days. So what I have been doing is Tuesdays because Tuesdays kind of work for me. So it's either going to be Tuesdays and or Thursdays. So it might be Tuesday one week, Thursday the next week, just to try to make sure that I work around everyone's schedule because I understand everyone is not going to be on the same exact schedule as everyone. So yes, okay, I got you. Welcome, Tina. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. All right. Edie says, what time? 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern will be the first one this Tuesday. Resume, Indeed, website, apply, call, email. This gets you started, right? Yep. Go on Indeed, apply, go on their website, apply, call, email. Yep, that is correct. If you're in Cleveland, Ohio, Edie, so this is the greatest thing I like about my community, is that when you go to the calendar tab and you go right here and you look, it will automatically put the time in your time zone. So this is my time zone. And then also add yourself to the calendar so you can get reminder emails reminding you when class starts. I have a 2011 Sienna. How do I get started with the medical courier? Be honest with you, your best bet is probably to go with the apps, is because they're gonna medical courier routes and companies is gonna want you to have a 2015 or newer. Excuse me. Nakia says I have the receipt but not the email from the school. I see this is an old message. Let me see if you're in here. Okay, I'm gonna resend it again, Nakia. Okay. Oops, that's not right. I don't know what I copied. Okay, I just resent it. Check your spam, please, too. So what about the personal credit? I need help fixing it. Edie, so I have a I have a list right here on the classroom. Personal credit, this one right here first, work on this one. Do everything that it says in here. Everything. And I've done it, especially this 24-hour experience hack. I raised my points, I want to say over a good 100. I'm over 700 now on one barrel, and I'm just under on the other two barrels. And I'm working on redoing a lot of the same stuff. And that's another thing. If you did everything here and it worked on some parts of your credit, redo it again the second month. It took me about 3 different times to get everything off. Each time I did it, some stuff kept coming off little bit by little bit, and it works. It's because I just bought a car last Friday. Um, so it works. It works. And then you can go ahead and do the other things that is more personal credit here, but it also is funding as well to help you getting ready to start getting funded. And I'm still adding stuff to here to both of these. So to know that this is not it. But it's a lot of information that you can get started on. Victor says, I'm in school community. I need access. I want the one-on-one mentorship. Thanks. I think I seen you in here, Victor. Did I? Yep. Boom. Welcome. And I sent you everyone who just joined. Your first step is to watch this watch this start here video. It's about 15-20 minutes. It's 18 minutes. And it just goes more in depth of the navigation of the community, what is expected from you, to make sure that you have, success inside the community. Same here. I would like the one-on-one. I probably won't open up one-on-one till after either the end of the year or New Year. I usually open it up a couple of times a year. But it's most likely won't be till after the new year. But know this, I don't accept anyone. I used to accept people into the one-on-one and they didn't have nothing. So I would say anyone that wants to do one-on-one, then you need to at least have your business contract ready. Because it doesn't make sense for us to work together and you're still getting your LLC EIN, you're still waiting on your cage code. I just don't feel like that will maximize your potential or even have me help you better. So once you gotten your business contract ready and you got your cage code and you're registered at least with like a state, then I can go ahead and help you a lot better and faster because it's all green lights. Monique says, "Do you still drive?" No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I got tired a long time ago. So I stopped driving in late 2022 into going into 23. But before I stopped, I made sure that I had all my T's crossed, I's dotted, and actually getting contracts, like I'm teaching you all, before I fully stopped. But don't be surprised if I may get in and drive because my husband is wanting to go back and start driving. So he might get me in a car a couple of times, but not full time. Um, already answered that. I signed up, but I have an issue attending Tuesdays, Christine. Okay, I welcome, Kay. I will I will have it to where I'll rotate for sure. Tuesday, Thursdays, Thursday, Tuesday. And then what is it? Welcome, KD. Let me grab this and so check your email. Okay. So Victor says, Leela, I need the lab 2.0 school access. I already have the 1.0. I think you're already in it. That's an old message. Are you open to hosting another time and day? Yep, I got you, Christine. So what I'll do is I'll do this one on Tuesdays because it's already on Tuesday. And then I'll do the next one on Thursday. I'll change that. You welcome, you welcome. YouTube chat is asking for the link. I forgot I was on YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Okay, I just put it in the chat for you all. I'm sorry, YouTube family. I'm so sorry. All right, I got you. Thank you, Andrea. Um, yes, I still haven't received the email. Nakia, you still haven't? Are you? Can you look in your spam folder for me, please? I'm not getting off to everybody's in the community that needs to get in. Let me do it again. This time, can you check your spam and also check your promotional folder in Google? So let me find you. Let me find you, Nakia. I'm gonna do it again. Excuse me. So if I have an older car not within 10 years range, what's the suggestion to do for Courier? You can try apps. So there's a lot of apps that will let you just join without asking for any type of vehicle details. So you can go that route. Or you can go ahead and get your business contract ready. So then once you do that, then you can start getting contracts in your business name. And then you just hire individuals to run that route who has the 10-year range vehicle. Um Thanks. I'm thinking family. I will have to do this on the weekend myself. They too, they would need to be certified correct. Stephanie, yes. So let's say you get the contract in your name as a business owner and you're hiring individuals to work for you. You don't need to be certified. They do because they're running the route. Michelle says, when I try to check the community on my phone, it keeps asking me to pay. So if you are trying to go on here, it's gonna have you to pay the 297 because that's regular price. You would need to have to pay do it with the link that I gave you. I'm about to put in the chat. Is the link that I gave you. And then once I get notification that you've joined, then I will manually add you into the community by adding your email, and then you'll be able to have access. All right, let me go back up. Michelle Holmes, you said you're a member here? Now you're saying I'm not sure what's going on because I see you right in here. It's probably, are you joining from, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Send me, put your email in the chat, Michelle. Because it's saying you churned, but I didn't charge this community. So you should never churn. Business contract startup, register EIN with business name, register Secretary of State, then cage code. Here, let me give you this. This is easier. Um, let me, Hadisia, welcome to the community. I'm about to invite you. So here, I just put this in the chat, Miss Jones. And so this is a Get Government Contract Checklist. And so it has everything you need to do. Choose your name by your domain, register your entity, EIN, DUNS number, if it's free. Look up your NAICS code, get your business address, no virtual, get your business phone number, your email, answer these questions right here, 7 and 8, get your business bank account, and then register for SAM. And remember, you're going to get halted on dibs because you need to get your cage code. The first thing they ask you on dibs to register is get your cage code and then go to 13. So you're going to do 11, register as soon as you're done. Then you're going to go to 13, which is register for your state. You're going to go to your state, Google your state in the word bids in order to find your site to register for your state. Michelle, okay, I got you. Okay, you're welcome. All right, so let me go back to, I dropped the link. Here, let me drop that link again. The link to join is right there. And then you're welcome. Michelle, check your email. Then let me go back because I need to. Edie says I would like to do the mobile notary. That is in there. You don't even have to get unlocked. I think the notary is unlocked. Yep, the notary is unlocked. So you can go ahead and start that course. Nakia, you said you did. What happened? What's going on? Were you able to get in? Let's see. Check hands raised. Yes, yes. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me just I don't want to forget. All right, let me. All right. Check your email. Hadisia, I just sent it to you. The kid says I still can't find it. I have like 4 accounts of school already. All right, so are you, first things first, once you try to connect everything, I need you to look for the email that you use. Well, first off is which email that you use to sign up for school. Because if it's different than the one that you gave me, it might do that. If you have another email, Nakia, that you have that's under your school already, give me that email. Even if that's not the email you use to sign up, give me that email. Hadasu, Hadasu. I'm sorry, sis. Braylon, go ahead and unmute.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can.
Okay, I appreciate all the information, and I'll be signing up shortly tonight. So the quick question. I had two previous businesses, auto paint and body shop. One is LLC and one is a corporation. Would that be fine? With one of those be fine to go ahead and still register, even though it's like not type of, a courier business or any type of product business with just any LLC that's already registered with the state? Would that be still fine to register with sam.gov, or should I create a new one and just go ahead and get I guess a new one?
Great question. And I suggest everyone to use what you already have.
Okay.
So remember, I don't know if I said this, but I registered using my event space business information.
Gotcha.
And I go after contracts that are medical courier, medical supplies, some that's event studio, all of them. We just want to
Okay.
get you registered because no government is not going to say your name doesn't match the contract that you want. They just want
Gotcha.
actual business that has all its T's crossed and I's dotted.
Gotcha. And that was my question. Even if I wanted to venture into a different type of government type of contract, and I still would be able be fine just using one of those businesses.
Yes, sir.
Does it matter which one you think would be better to use the one that's incorporated or the LLC, either or?
For Sam, it doesn't matter, but for tax purposes, that would be the question.
Gotcha.
Me personally, when I first started doing all this, I had a couple of LLCs,
Hmm.
and that's the ones that I registered initially. Then I had created the S corps because I seen the tax benefits,
Gotcha.
and so I went ahead and went that route with the S corp. But
Okay,
you should have
gotcha.
the same.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Nakia says she'll be the same email. Can you give me another email and just any other email that you may have that I can use? Because for whatever reason it's not connecting. Um, I could do one more thing, but that's my last resort. Fabrice says, "Can I still join the community on Wednesday at the same price?" No, but you can come back when I'm live. So when I'm live, I usually discount the community, or next Sunday on the classes, I discount the community. But if it's outside of the classes, it is regular price. But if I am like going live on TikTok or Instagram, then I usually discount the community. Hadassah. I'm sorry. And I need to get it right because I hate when people Hadassah. Okay, yes. Because I hate when people mess up my name. Because Leela is a nickname. Hadassah. I like that. Okay, let's go back. Um, Nakia, do you have another email? Let me see if I can do this another way. 24 pending. Let me just make sure I did it right. Yeah, can you see if you can give me another one? For some reasons, last week when I did this, AOLs and Yahoos was just not working right. When I sent it. And then let's resend it again. And then when people gave, I think this happened with Michelle. Was that you, Michelle? And then boom, it worked with the other one. Oh, I see your hands up. Hey, Michelle, go ahead and unmute. Leela, I joined the community at a later date. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Vicky. I've learned so much, and I look forward to working with you in the near future. Everyone, have a blessed night. You do the same, sis. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Okay, did I answer all those questions? Let me just make sure. I already said that. These sessions are taped. Can we go back and watch at another time? I can send you the replay. Most likely, actually, I have this on YouTube, so you can actually go back and watch it on YouTube. Miss Jones. I think I'm still on. Yep, I'm still on YouTube. So I'm not taking it down off of YouTube. Edie says I have 3 EINs and 3 LLCs. That's what I'm talking about, sis. Um, I'm on the call tonight to drive on demand, so I'm going to sleep. Tonight's been great. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. I guess it doesn't like my email is not in spam. Yeah, for some reason this has happened before. Good, first of the year is fine. Okay, so
Hello?
hi.
I was having so many issues trying to unmute, and I don't know what's going on. Um, Now I have two accounts. I don't know what's going on. We can figure it out at a later date. Thank you for everything that you did. I'm very interested in the government contracting. Uh, the two contracts with T-Force, I'm going to subcontract and I want to concentrate more on the government contracting.
Yes, yes. Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you, boss lady.
It was all you. It was all you, sis.
But I don't know why my laptop is acting crazy. But I just want to thank you. And are you going to give that class again soon, just with the government contracting?
Are you talking about live?
Yes.
Yeah, most likely I'm probably gonna do it in January.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I just kind of don't like doing stuff during the holiday season because I be feeling like people don't be as committed during the
Exactly.
holiday season. But I will say this,
Hmm.
I plan on doing some Black Friday stuff. Um,
Hmm.
and the last 5 day challenge, I plan to give it to you all for I think 97. So just to keep in mind.
Okay. Well, one of my last questions is I'm the DSP for Orlando, Jacksonville, and Miramar, but I'm having problems hiring people. So I'm not understanding what I'm doing wrong. That, I can only give the price that T Force gave me because that was like a no haggle price. So the gentleman I wanted me to give him $2, and that would have only left me with 20 cents.
Yeah, that's why when you are negotiating and then you are, excuse me, getting a contract in your business name, especially on a vendor level and not on the government contracting level, you are going to
Mhm.
get lesser profit. It's because you're going to have lesser wiggle room. But when we're talking
Mhm.
about government contracting, you're going to get way more profit than that. But I would
Mhm.
say, skip him, and
Definitely.
I would most definitely put that on Indeed. Put it on ZipRecruiter as a post. No
Well, I
different.
had it in CB driver, and he was just rude, and I it kind of irritated me a little bit because I felt like you thought you could talk me out of my price.
Hmm.
And then he was like, "Well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it for $2." I said, "Well, thank you very much for answering my ad. You have a blessed day." And I hung up.
I'm glad you did, because people like that is only, in my opinion, gonna give me more
Not good for my
later.
team.
Yes, you're gonna have problems later. Um,
Mm-hmm.
CB Driver is good, but
Mm-hmm.
I still think you should post it on Indeed
Indeed. Okay.
because you're
All
gonna
right.
get a lot more eyeballs on Indeed. I promise you, you're gonna have so many people. You're gonna be like, I don't know how I'm gonna interview these people, but
Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
But I thank you so much for all you do. And I'm sorry I was out of pocket for a while. Because, I used to post every day something, it's, inspirational.
I love it.
But then, my dad got sick and I
Mhm.
was running, and I don't want to run anymore because I'm 60 and I'm tired of running. So I need to sub this out.
That part, I understand, sis,
Yeah.
with the quickness.
Yeah. Time to sub it out. But the thing that I can thank God and give him a testimony. I've only been doing this for 2 months.
Wow.
God is good. God is good.
God is good. And also, He answers prayers when
Hmm.
people actually do.
Yeah. Works without faith without works is dead.
That part is, that's so true. That's wonderful. So I can't wait to see 6 months. You said 2 months?
2 months.
I love it.
2 months. I've been because like when I got my first DSP, I started calling the recruiter. Hey, you need anybody else? I got you.
Right.
You need more people? I got you. So now I can't get people to work, and I'm the DSP now.
That's wonderful. You just gotta get that numbers up. Get more,
Yes,
because
yes,
people hungry. They want to eat. And even if it's
yes.
$2 or one, I mean, because he could have negotiated, at least met you halfway at $1 or
Mhm.
something. But
Yeah,
that
he wouldn't do it.
attitude, mm-mm.
Yeah, and my son was like, "Mom, he doesn't need to work for you. He's just hang up, Mom."
Yes, I
Yeah,
agree. I
because
say,
he was going, like you said, that was a red flag right there.
mhm. Yeah, I don't want to deal with headaches. At least, I mean, not at the top, at the start. Yeah, but not in the beginning.
Yeah, I know, right? That's awesome. Well, you have a good night, and I thank you for taking my calls. And I'm back, and I'm running with it, and I'm going to try to hire these two people in Miramar, and I did one in Jacksonville, and Orlando is full, but I'm going to call her again tomorrow to see if they have any routes opening again.
That's awesome. Congrats, sis. Congrats.
Thank you so much. The crazy thing is, I used to work for the Department of Defense in contracting.
That's a full circle moment, huh?
I worked there for 16 years
That's right.
before I became a real estate agent. So I kind of know it, but I don't know this side of it that you're teaching.
Hey, I bet she's gonna come full circle. Everything that you learned and did in those 16 years, you're gonna be
Mhm.
in your own business.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'm going to say good night. My grandbaby's here. Y'all take care. God bless everybody. Keep pushing. You got this. And let's just make a pact to keep everybody accountable.
Yes, yes, I second that. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you
You
so
have a nice evening. Good night.
much. You too. Good night. I'm going back to old messages, and Edie says I took a credit class and she was talking about herself the whole time. I didn't get anything, and I paid her $1,000 to take me or to teach me how to do credit repair. Yeah, it happens. I'm not gonna lie to you. I paid somebody $8,000 and it wasn't worth it. I mean, granted, I got some results. I did, but a lot of the stuff, almost everything that I learned is in this community. That's the credit and stuff. I'm almost positive I know who you took and who the teachings came from because it's only a handful of people that is teaching credit, and it's teaching other people on how to teach credit, and it's coming from like the top, and then it's had other people. So I'm sorry that happened, but I don't promote that over here. I really do try to, I do charge for my time and my experience or whatnot, but I'm not trying to break nobody just so I can be like, yep, I became a millionaire, and I'll be like, what was it ethical? So that's why I made the community like this. I'd rather put everything in here, you win and you learn and you implement, and then you actually can sit there and get the results. But yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you, Edie. Um, okay, let me go back down. I have experience doing Uber Eats, pick up medical supplies for my spouse, and I drop off their medical labs as well. I believe this is good, right? Yes, ma'am. I sure would. Use all of that, and I put it in GPT. Um, and go from there and add that to your resume. Hadassah. I said it right? Yep, I think I did. Yep. Nakia, let me put this email in. Other than Nakia, has everyone got in? You welcome. Has everyone got into the school community? All right, let's hope that this works. It should, because this is a Gmail. All right, go ahead and check your email. Um, You welcome, you welcome. Yes, he is good. God is good all the time. Any other questions? Any other questions? And Kia said, yes, I got it. Is it a way to merge it under my school? It should be. It should be. Well, I might, because if those other ones you signed up under one, it'll all appear here. But if this is a new email, it might have you go to a different school. Christine says, see you in school. I am hopping off. Thank you, Christine. Have a good rest of your night, evening, and I'll see everyone this Tuesday. Um, and make sure your notifications is on because at any time, if I change the dates and add a new date, I want to be able to grab everyone so they can be on. Because I might do two next week. I mean, this week, just in case everyone can't get in on Tuesday because of prior engagements. Fun fact, my name is Queen Esther. Hebrew's name is from the Bible. Awesome, sis. She said, fun fact. I love it. My name is Queen Esther's Hebrew name from the Bible. That's bomb. I love a biblical uh name. You welcome, Nakia. All right. Any other questions? Now it's time to take action. It is time to take action on everything we learned. For everyone who didn't join the community, take action on everything that I went over. I gave a lot of information for you all to get started, to start making some money. You do not need to go the long term off the bat. Just start. Just start. Baby steps. Baby steps. If I don't see you in the community this year around, I'll see you next year. But don't sleep on the information because remember, if you do, then someone else is going to take it and capitalize from it. Thank you, Leela. I look forward to my successful career journey with you as my mentor. I'm super excited. Thank you, sis. Good night, everyone. See the action takers on Tuesday. Yes, yes, yes. And I will see everyone. And remember, for anyone that's in the community, if you have questions even before class, don't hesitate with hitting the community tab and asking your questions. You can ask questions here, and I and the community will answer you back. I really love the community that I'm building. It is a lot of like-minded, goal-driven, God-like individuals in the community. So let's get it. Let's get it. So I'll see everyone on Tuesday, or I'll see you in the next class on Sunday. But have a good one. All right, peace.